Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you can hear me. It's 55 knots here in the Faroe Islands. Welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream, the 26th of September 2022, 4 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. We're in the sim, Microsoft Flight Sim, in the PMDG 737, and we've got a lovely little sector to you today. We're currently in the windiest place in the world right now. We've got gusts of 55 knots here, and we're flying to Aberdeen about 1 hour. It's also very windy, albeit forecast to get a little less windy. We're of course testing the new well-received update from Microsoft Flight Simulator, which brings better weather and gusts, and we're going to see how that works in Microsoft Flight Simulator in the PMDG 737, the aircraft I'm familiar with. I've been up since about 5 o'clock this morning. I was in the Balearic Islands about 3 or 4 hours ago. I had a 120 knot headwind on the way back. If you see my Instagram story, you'll be able to check that out. And I got straight onto the PC to do this stream today. I've been wanting to do this for a while because I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, "Oh, how is the new update? How's the PMDG 737 going to handle it?" And I had a quick play yesterday. Certainly better than it was. Some things I'd like to point out, but it's overall very, very good for the average user. They're going to certainly, I think, appreciate the update. As I said, it was much better than it was, but you can see, look, the clouds are moving so quickly. I don't know if they'd actually be closing this airport today. It is within limits. The maximum operational reported wind on the ground I could operate at my operator is 60 knots, crosswind limit is 33 knots, the wind is pretty much down the runway here, 29 gusting 41, so we'll see and talk about how that affects our operation, what we'll do for our performance to cater for any potential issues with this wind today. As I mentioned, when we get to Aberdeen it should be quite windy as well. Time permitting, as I'm only doing one sector today, I might try and find somewhere on the way just to quickly spawn out. We could do a crosswind takeoff and landing because the wind at Aberdeen, it's windy but not quite down the runway. It's only about a 10-15 knot crosswind. We'll try and find somewhere to do a 25 plus knot crosswind if we have time at the end of the stream. Anyway, I hope you're all doing very well. Let me try and find the aeroplane in the wind and the mist and the fog. I am on VATSIM today. I don't think we'd have any ATC. As I mentioned, only decided on this sector about an hour before the start of the stream, so I wanted to just choose somewhere which was absolutely crazy windy wise. Here is Alpaca Airways. We've got the new, or Boeing Alpaca Airways livery
40,
here to use here.
30, 20,
we're going to look forward to doing this here. Thank you very much, Julia Roberts Agents. Thank you.
Despite our reservations, Julia insists on travelling to shoot her new oil rig themed film in Aberdeen. Given the forecast, we trust that you will be conveying her to the airport and not simply pitching her into the North Sea. No wet hair for our superstar.
Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Julia Roberts Agents. As you all well know, I'm a massive fan of Julia Roberts. Love her to bits, love her work, and she's travelling with Alpaca Airways today from Vega, of all places, to Aberdeen. Here she is, famous as ever. Thank you very much to whoever it was. Well, Julia Roberts Agents, indeed. Thank you very much for your generosity. I'll put Julia Roberts back down here on the floor. On the cabin, and we're going to have fun today. Thank you, whoever that was, very kind. Black Rider UK, welcome aboard as a member. Glad you enjoyed the content. Members only Discord for you. Enjoy using the custom emojis in chat. Jordan did Prestwick Tenerife as a passenger on staff travel for a change day. Was only 3 hours 50, usually 4 hours 20. That's because it's a gnarly jet stream. Check out my Instagram story. You'll be able to see that jet stream I was in over north of France today. 122 knot headwind. We'll put it this way. I flew to Palma this morning from the UK. Took about an hour and 55 minutes on the way back to 2 hours 20. Very strong jet stream
50,
located
40,
there at the moment. Kieran Harvey.
20, 10.
Thank you very much for the £2 donation. Very kind of you. Appreciate it.
Alpaca Airways will get you there alive or your money back.
Unbelievable. Got nothing to say there. Oh my goodness me. Black Rider UK. He's not only just joined us a member, he's gifted 20 people in chat membership as well. That's extremely generous of you. Welcome to all these new people as members. I don't know what to say. Well, you all get invited to our members only Discord. You enjoy the custom emojis in chat as well. That's going to set the pinger off now for the next 2-3 minutes. I don't know what to say. That was very generous of you. Wow, what a generosity. It's Twitch thing this is, isn't it? Well, I don't know what to say, but whilst that's pinging on in the background, we'll have a little bit of a chat about operating in these sort of weather conditions as well. So it's very windy here, 40 to 45 knots, okay? And you've got to be very wary, especially when you become a captain, of making sure everything is legal and safe. So when we have winds in excess of sort of 40 knots, we need to make sure that the boarding gate, if we don't have an air bridge, the stairs here are suited for these conditions. They need to be well chocked and in place. We'd only have one set of air stairs as well. We'd also have boarding in a way which isn't going to endanger the passengers as well. So everything slows down in these sort of conditions. You just have to take your time. This thing is going to go absolutely crazy as well. That's very generous, I know it is indeed. Freak, I always miss out on those. Well, I don't know what to say. That's the second time we've had gifted members. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the exclusivity of the members-only Discord, and I'm trying to be as interactive as possible at the moment, although I'm very busy at the moment. Come November, I'll be there for some voice chat sessions, some demonstrated live streams, and all those sort of things here. Anyway, I'm going to jump into the cockpit now. We are completely cold and dark. This thing's going to go off for a while. Mats, thank you very much for the 11 months as a membership. Says, hi, Captain, with the airplane emoji. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you very much for your generosity there. I think, are we halfway? That's crazy. I don't know what to say. So generous. It just puts everything on a bit of a hold for now. Lauren, more America flights come November time too. Yes, hopefully. I mean, I'll do always what I can. I mean, I was looking at some of the hurricanes around there for potential destinations to stay stream, but this was, I think, Vega is one of the windiest places right now on this planet, so that's why I had to choose it. We've actually flown here in the PMDG 737 not too long ago. Yeah, we're at minimums. That's just incredible. That's very, very generous. You know, I don't know what to say. Thank you very much indeed, Black Rider UK. Nearly there. Anthony, Julia's on board and the captain's in the cockpit. Something is wrong here. Unbelievable. Oh, right, let me get some power onto this aircraft. Hydraulic pumps can come on. Landing gear lever is down. We have 6 green lights as well. You know, plus 1 point here for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It looks like the METAR exactly. The winds, the rain, overcast conditions, the QNH pressure. I think the depiction of live weather has really improved in the last few weeks and months. Really, really nice to see. Julie's on the jump seat. She would be on the jump seat if she ever flew with me. The hurricane's kind of between Cuba and Honduras. You can't, and right now can't take off or land in, but could fly over. The weather is bad all day in South Florida too. Second sector, potentially. We'll see if you guys, my goodness, approaching Aberdeen can find somewhere with a strong crosswind, because it's a short flight. We'll quickly spawn there, we'll do a visual circuit and see how we do in those conditions. I think that's it. Welcome to the 20 new members. That's unbelievable. 21, I think someone joined for that entire process too. Matt's become a member as well. My goodness me, my goodness me. How does the rain compare to what Explain 12 said, Freak? Much better. Unfortunately, the wipers don't move the rain, which is a bit of a shame, but hopefully in an update that will be the case. Right, that was balmy. Thank you very much to the donations and the new memberships there. I don't know what to say, my goodness. Right, batteries on, electric hydraulic pumps are on, landing gear lever is down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green lights, but then check all the aircraft documentation to make sure we're all legal. Oh, again, right, I'm going to have to mute it just to keep the show on the road. That, Black Rider, that is unbelievable. I'm just going to mute the alert box now, because it's just going to be pinging. Everyone you'll see joining as a member will come up here on the overlay here, but that's incredible. That's 40 new members that have just joined the channel. Black Rider UK, you're an absolute madman, as Lawrence just said. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much for your generosity. I said I'm just going to mute it now just to keep the show on the road as well. As I mentioned, all the new members, welcome on board. You will have all pinged up there on the side as well. Thank you very much. Watch with some instructions on how to join Discord as well, and we'll just keep the show on the road here. My goodness, that's unbelievably generous. Thank you. Batteries on. We've done all those checks. Check the aircraft documentation. We're going to work down here now and do the fault and fire test. Check the squibs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green lights. Faults that we're going to do here. APU detector in op, and we have master caution overheat detector. Fire test, 3 fire warning lights, engine overheat, wheel well, and we'll cancel the fire warning. We have master caution overheat detector again. Emergency exit lights all armed, test the attend button. Let's have a little look at our operational flight plan, guys. So today, Aberdeen is windy. It is forecast to get better, but in these conditions you want to be taking at least 30 minutes and make sure you have an alternate that's completely rock solid. Edinburgh is our alternate. The winds are absolutely fine down there, so if I was flying this sector today I'd probably take 30 minutes extra. It's quite a short runway and the weather should improve. We'll take that amount extra with Edinburgh as our alternate. I just want to make sure it is Edinburgh if that's the case. So let's take 6.4 tonnes of fuel. Let's go here into the operational or the FMC menu, FS actions, all loaded up in real time today. So we'll go ground services, fuel, 6.4. It's already connected. We'll start the fueling, and we will have passengers, 150 passengers on this sector. And we just need to call for the bus, I think, and then we could start the boarding that way around there. So that's looking good. We've tested the attend button. Flaps are up, which match the indicated position. Cargo fire test is coming up. So we've got forward, aft, discharge light, 2 green lights, fire warning bell, and light has also been illuminated. Transponders 2000 standby. All the switches are in the right position. Working our way back here. Gear extension door is closed. Looks great, the cockpit and the PMDG. Circuit breakers are all in. Working our way back here. Stall warning test. Flight recorder checked. Mach airspeed warning test. IRS to nav. Check the circuit breakers on the left hand side. And then, oh yeah, we don't have a cabin in this one. And we'll imagine we've, well, I don't need to imagine we've started the boarding. We'll start the boarding now. 150 passengers are on their way. Great to see other people join in as well. Thank you very much. Welcome to joining the flight here. Hopefully we're going to get some ATC in Aberdeen. Right, I'll put the alerts back on now. That was crazy. Thank you very much. 40 gifted members here by Black Rider UK. No comment at all. He hasn't even said anything in chat there today as well. Hello, Andrea. I hope you're doing well. Dr. Orphanage. Hey, I've been trying to power the passengers using the power the packs using the external air conditioning unit, but haven't been able. What should you do for it to work properly? Make sure you got the... What do you want to provide? Conditioned air to the cabin. You have the packs off when you have conditioned air to the cabin because it goes straight to the mix manifold, Juan, not via the packs. The packs just is a way the aircraft conditions the air for the cabin. So if you're using external air, you don't use packs. Right, fueling is on board. We've done the preliminary flight deck inspection. Let's get the parking brake set, and now we'll load up the FMC and do our pre-flight checks. So we'll go to map and we'll get the latest weather QNH in, which is 998. That checks the real METAR. MFRA will set as 1260. It's an awesome departure. Well, not that you'll see much terrain today because it's super cloudy, low overcast conditions here. 1270 is set. What OFP layout do you use, sir? It's the Ryanair OFP flight plan. It looks rather familiar to me, so that's the one I use there. Give us some cockpit lights, please. Yes, you would want some cockpit lighting in here. A little bit of background and AFDS lighting. Yeah, it wouldn't quite illuminate as much as that, as low as that, but I'm being very picky. The lighting in here is far better than the mod at the moment in X-Plane 12. It's a far superior interior and exterior model, in my opinion. Right, let's jump into the FMC now. So, menu, FMC, model, latest AirAC is installed. Let me bring up the operational flight plan for you. There is Vega already. Now, I did have a little play with it. I thought this should have reset the FMC. Yeah, I think it has done. I'd only put the initial position in. Echo Kilo Victor Golf, routing to Aberdeen, which is Echo Golf Papa Delta. And our flight number today is Alpaca. What did I go for? 26 Golf Uniform. 26 Golf Uniform. Departing off runway 30. It'll be
50,
a
40,
odd vend departure,
30,
an odd vend to Papa.
20, 10.
Thank you very much, Jonathan Wiltshire. All of you very generous. I don't know what to say. Thanks for the $5, buddy.
Alpaca Airways, you'll need all 4 hooves on the ground today.
You will do. It's so windy, and Alpaca would actually take off. Thank you very much, Jonathan Wiltshire, for the £5. Very generous of you, sir. Hope you're doing well. And, well, none of our hooves will be on the ground. We're going flight. But thank you very much for your continued support as well as a member, too. Appreciate it, buddy. Let's go to departures. Departures will be runway 30. I've already done this, haven't I? Oddveb 2 Papa. Let's put in the routing. So it's going to be... Sorry, I just realised I'm blocking the FMC. Direct to Nalan. From Nalan, it's direct to Barmer. Barmer, I think we'll be into Scottish airspace by then. Kilo Whiskey Lima next. Direct to Wick. Oops. There we are, we'll go for that one. Director Wick from Wick Yankee 904 to Smoky. And there's no arrivals here unless you're in a helicopter into Aberdeen. So what we're going to do, we'll either fly the procedural approach for 3-4 cell position. It goes into a hold, the procedural approach, so we can see how the aircraft holds in these conditions. Probably not very well. I don't think they've updated any of the issues with the earlier build, but we could perhaps enter the hold and then go outbound and then straight into the approach runway 34.
50,
So
40,
Smoky direct to
30,
20, what is else going
10.
on here? Alpha Tango Foxtrot I want. Thank you very much, Black Rider.
Yes, I have been talking. You have just been busy setting up the cockpit. Again, I always support streamers who deserve
Oh,
it.
Black Rider UK, they're supporting it, and there's generosity off the scale, which was what you just did there. So I don't know what to say. Thank you very much indeed, and for a fiver, incredibly generous of you, and I appreciate the support. That's mega. Many a pints for me, and might even get a mega pint. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Right, let me just check this here. The routing. What is going on here? 4,200 miles. We've perhaps made an error here in my route entry. Yeah, check your waypoint spelling, Bamra. Thank you very much. So that's why we do route checks. Make sure we've not made any issues, which I have done. So what I'm going to do is go Bamra here, and we'll get rid of that one there, and then from Bamra direct to Kilo Whiskey Lima. There we go. That should be a little better now. Thank you very much. Well spotted in chat. That's a common error to make with waypoints, with getting the letters the wrong way around. Kilo Whiskey Lima, Wick, Smoky, Alpha Tango Foxtrot to hold, then back over the VOR onto the ILS. Then missed approach is a straight line, which is why there's a blue dash line. So that's looking much better there. Well spotted there. Activate, execute, and into the FMC. So performance 0 fuel weight is 50 tons. Oh no, it's still updating actually. Because we're loading passengers, it will be 55.2 by the time we're done. Look, you'll see if I update it, it's still increasing. So what we do, we put in the estimated at this time. Reserves will be 2.4 tons. Cost index 30. We're cruising at 31,000 feet in this sector. Now I think this could be taking advantage of the jet stream, which is why we're not all the way up at 3.7. Where is it here? There we go. So this is the jet stream right now. It's at 250, so I think it could be taking advantage of the jet stream at a lower level. At this point, this is what our flight plan did today. We actually flew a little bit low on the way back from the Balearic Islands to get out of the jet stream, which worked out quite well. But that's in the transition altitude here in Vega. Let's have a look here in the SID. Is 7,500. Not that you can see it. There we go. 7,500 just here. And let's talk about performance. Let me just get the top of climb wind in, sorry. Working our way up here. Top of climb wind will be, well, it'll be strong. Nice tailwind. 326 at 100. That's very strong. Lovely tailwind though, pushing us towards Aberdeen. And top of climb ice at some weird entry thing here in the PMDG 73. Well, you want the actual temperature, which is going to be minus 37. So it's very warm, and that is in. Now let's talk about strong winds for departure. Okay, so you can load up the OPT, you can put the actual wind in, and it'll provide the minimum thrust required for departure. Now, when we have winds in excess of sort of 40 knots gusting, the flight crew training manual recommends a thrust above the minimum required, and when it's very gusty, maximum thrust is potentially advisable because it helps improve the aircraft's sort of rotation in gusty conditions. If you also have potentially wind shear, you're already close to full thrust as well. So we have an option on our OPT to select wind shear, and I'd be doing that in these conditions with 40 gusting 50. I'd be going full thrust regardless of weight, because if you have a gust during the rotation, you need to actually delay that rotation until you're actually above V1 and VR. So I'll be going full 26k today. It would be in excess of what's required. 4 degrees as well. God blimey, it's absolutely chilly out here, so we'd have engine and wing anti-ice on for departure as well. So 26k full, and takeoff flap 5, CG's coming in, 5.35 units has have we actually finished loading yet? We'll just go here to FS actions. Well, it won't matter because we've got the estimated or actual zero fuel weight in. The speeds are 31, 33, 44, and the fueling is done. 144 knots we can set here. So we go full power in these sort of inclement conditions. You can take reduced thrust, but you just got to be very wary in gusty conditions. It's probably not best advisable. Although there's no mandatory requirement to take full power, but I'd be doing this today. Right, 144, that's on the MCP. Yaw dampers on. Nav transfer, display switches are normal auto. Fuel 4 pumps. No fuel in the centre tank. Check the crossfeed valve as well. When we get onto the runway, we'll talk about some of the threats associated with strong winds too. Thanks for subscribing, sir. Crossfeed's bright and then dim. Cam utility and IFE galley powers on. Fasten seatbelt sign can come on. Window heat can come on if it was 4 degrees outside here. It actually had the AP on a lot sooner. Get some nice cool conditioned air. Or warm conditioned air into the cabin. 310, 200 is the elevation, Aberdeen. We'll have that over to right. And we'll start the APU. Whilst that's starting, flight director's on. It's an RNAV SID, so we'll leave the runway heading in QDM. Set on the heading and courses. Order brake to RTO. Reset the fuel flow. We'll select traffic. Myself and Jim. And the rest is all set. I didn't set the trim though, 5.35 units, which takes an age of the PMDG 737. It is still far too slow. Oh, hide flight plan. Oh, sorry, I wasn't even looking at chat. Thanks, guys. Sorry. 5.35. My goodness, how was staring at the flight plan for the last 4 or 5 minutes, guys? Oh, look at the chat. Oh dear. Misspelt Bamra, well spotted. We can still see the flight plan. Oh dear. Flight area, I think you were trying to tell me this at the start of the stream. Just beware the sim will add any crosswind gradually as you accelerate during takeoff without the new variables. You'll have to add more rudder as you speed up. Yeah, typically it's less rudder because the rudder becomes more effective as you accelerate down the runway. Interesting. We'll have to see how that is then. Can the external air conditioning provide warm air as well? It can. You know what, we don't usually use it for that one in Europe, but I believe it can, or would do if it was extremely cold with an air bridge. Why do you flick the start switch to the right when starting the APU? So that's unrelated, Juan the igniter. This was unrelated to starting the APU. I just wanted to select the right igniters for start. We usually have right or left igniters. They're both different sources of ignition. One's off the transfer bus, one's off the standby, I think DC standby bus, but we use right typically. Flight plan is burnt on my retina. Unbelievable, Romulus. I'll be crewing you to make sure you've read it. Afternoon, everyone. Hope you're doing well, Tim. Nice to see you here, buddy. Right, so let's have a little look at our taxi. And
50,
Sid,
40,
thank you very much, Black
30,
Rider UK,
20,
again for the £5.
10.
Very generous of you, sir. You've been off the scale generous. Thank you. See what he has to say.
Quick question: if you turn on the co-pilot's eye window overhead light, a bright red light comes on the overhead. Is that normal in the real
Question:
aircraft?
if you turn on the co-pilot's eye window overhead light, so this one here, shouldn't be any red. Let's go. Is it modelled? There we go. It should be. It should be white, like this. I guess this is the one you're referring to. No, this one's not red. It's great how it works and stuff. That's really smart by PMDG. Really nice. No, there should be no red light. This can turn red. This is a nav light, which you can actually use to check ice. And this is modelled. I don't know if they've got the red filter on it though. Let's see. So in reality, I'll try and remember to do this at work. You turn this on and there is actually a red filter, so you can rotate this as well and it'll go gradually red at night, you know, so it doesn't affect your night vision. But yeah, this is when before we had iPads and things like that, so you know, we don't really use these to read charts or anything nowadays. But that's a great question. I hope that answers it for you there. Right, APU can pop on the bus. Let's go here into the FMS, we'll go to FS actions, and to ground services we'll set the chocks, remove the chocks, which will disconnect everything externally, and we now just need to try and get out of here with all this other traffic too. This will be interesting. I'll just check here online, there's no ATC, and IRS oh, did I not put the position in? Oh, funky. Oh, this is not good. No position information whatsoever. No GPS or anything. Set IRS position. This is not looking good. 2 minutes for alignment. Funny enough, I don't think this is modelled. I'd be very impressed if it was. In these sort of windy conditions, the aircraft can shake a lot, which can actually extend the alignment time. I don't think that's modelled. There we go, 1 minute left. Concerning though, that on the position page, I have no information here whatsoever. No GPS left or right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully alignment will be done in 1 minute. We are quite high up here, and in the equator, and hopefully everything will be good. Right. Let's select airport. Well, I can't move anywhere. Oh yeah, that's not even coming up terrain or anything like that. I can't move anywhere, guys, until the IRS is aligned, which should be in 1 minute. Hopefully, if that doesn't work, there is a way of doing a quick alignment. We're perfect in time for the stream.
40,
Departing at 50:30. We're pretty much ready to
20,
go. Just need to have a look at taxi
10.
and Sid. Thanks again, Black Rider, for the £5. Well, you're off the scale with your generosity.
Yes, you have the same as me. When the light is on, you get a bright red light showing just under the hydraulic pumps. Is that normal?
Welcome.
Let's have a look there. So when I turn this light on here, bright red light under the hydraulic pumps. The switches? When the light is on, you get a bright red light showing just under the hydraulic pumps. Let me just look one more time. This one. Alignment's done here. Oh, yeah, I might have to get you to look at put in the comments section after, but I missed any red light there. I'm really not perhaps sure there, Black Rider, what you're referring to. There we go, alignment's complete. Yeah, 027, perfect. And go back here, we've got all the information loaded. Right, so as I mentioned, taxi, self-position. We are going to backtrack runway 30, full length, make a 180-degree turn, and then this SID is an RNAV SID. Lots of RNAV waypoints to fly to, 740, 742, 744, then 760, max 250 knots. Actually, that's a different part there, sorry, 744, 746. Ooh, this is looking different. Odeva 2 Papa, let me just make sure I've definitely got the right SID here. 742, then 744, then we've got this RF point. Now, I think this could be a Navigraph making its own waypoints to deal with the point merge. This RF point is not on the chart. So, yeah, this is a radius fix turn, okay, and 0.15 DME required. Navigraph has basically custom made, or PMDG, one of the two, its way of dealing with this. So it's made its own waypoints, which, because it can't draw curves at the moment, but it's essentially going to go all the way around until it gets to 748. It's sort of done a good job, so in reality you perhaps couldn't fly this SID here, but it's working. It's coded in a way, it just hasn't got the same waypoints, but it's going all the way to Odeva, which is what I want to see. Right, so let's push and start. This is a very, very tight apron. We're going to sort of go into this direction here, so let's get the pushback ordered. I haven't finished looking at that SID as well. Pre-planned pushback. Yeah, this is a very tight apron. You wouldn't usually have as many commercial jet aircraft on it as we have right now, so sort of going to do something like that and see how it works.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
So, yeah, it looks like it's depicted correctly. Different waypoints here. There's no SID stop altitude mentioned on this chart. No ATC. Recommended wind surface wind is between 260 and 040, which it is. It's coming from the northwest. Let's just get an update on that wind here in Vegar. Latest wind is 320 at 27, gusting 38, so that's fine. And we're going to go all the way up to our cruise level, which is 310. Perfect. We better get on to Unicom and advise what's going on.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Vegar, traffic, Alpaca, 26 Golf uniform. Let's push it back now. I have no idea what stand we're on. It's just a default airport.
Okay, cleared for push start.
Packs off.
Please release parking
AP
brake.
bleeds on. Anti-collision lights on. Parking brake we can now release. Transponder out
Parking
off.
brakes are released.
Run away.
Commencing pushback.
Welcome, Mauricio Diaz. Hope you're doing well. Thanks,
You'll
Domino
start in
Mocini. I knew
sequence.
there'd be someone. Thanks, Gustavo. Yeah, we need to update the RMP. Yeah, RMP 1. Let's see if I can update it. What's the maximum RMP? 0.15. Let's see if it comes up with RNAV errors. Can't change it, unfortunately. Only approach. Oh, there we go. Done. Boom. Still wouldn't be able to fly it. Thanks, Matt Writer. Right, turn on the co-pilot map light.
50, 40, 30.
One of the illustrations on the
20.
overhead is double the bright.
10.
Ah! That's a bug. I hope it's not the left forward overwing.
Turn on the co-pilot map light. One of the enunciators on the overhead is double the brightness. It
Yes.
should be last super chat. Sorry for bugging.
You don't need to apologise at all. Your generosity is phenomenal. Thank you. Yeah, that's a bug. So, everyone, if you turn the map light on, you get left forward overwing in a super bright light. That is a bug. Never seen it do that before. Right, starting engine number 2. Got you. Thank you. And you didn't have to donate again. I would have seen that. Oh, my goodness me. Starting engines. N2.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake
Oil
set.
pressure.
Lowering aircraft.
N1. Now, can anyone think of any idea
Ground.
Why?
You may disconnect.
the wind's coming in this
Okay,
direction?
clear to disconnect. Pin
Why I'm
has-
facing this direction? Obviously,
Have a good flight.
I'm going to taxi here. But you see this aircraft here? If he starts facing the other direction, he's going to have a real problem starting his engines, because what happens is the wind comes up from the rear of the engine and the N1 fan is spinning the wrong way, and one of the requirements for starting the engine is to ensure you have N1 rotation. So if a strong tailwind going up the rear of the engine, you can actually have an aborted engine start condition, because you won't get any N1. So always good to face into wind. Exactly, Greg Scott, you've got it. Engines will windmill the other way. Elliot, thanks for the 12 months. Anyone going to say anything about the cargo doors being open? I was even staring at it, wasn't I? Looking at the overwing exit. No! Oh, are you a real pilot? Oh. Elliot Smith, thank you for your continued support, buddy. I'm on it. I'm on it. That's why we have checks. That's right, someone's battling the wind and about to get sucked up in the engine. Unbelievable. N2, N1, oil pressure. Oh, dearie me. That's definitely one for the soundboard. God, if I could find it quickly. Oh dear. Where is it? Where is it? I've got the best one for that. Oh, that's me searching for the sound effect. I can't find it. Well, it'll have to do that one. I can't believe I did that, whilst also staring at it. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh dear. Right, starter cut out, monitoring engine number 1, 2, 4, 6, 3, 1 stable, and let's do the before taxi flow. Generators on, APU's off, start switch is continuous, probe beats on, engine and wing anti-ice coming on for departure as well, and PAX auto, isolation valve auto, APU bleed is off, and set flaps to 5. Here comes the flight controls, full forward, full back, left, and right. Here comes the rudders, full right and full left. And we'll push recall, blank the lower DU, and then we'd read the before taxi checklist, which should be all done. Right, so someone's backtracking, and someone's taking off runway 34. He's waiting behind us. Perfect. Traffic alpaca 26 Golf uniform taxi to hold shorter runway 34. Perfect. So config. And just do like to spool up quick. So, taxiing in strong windy conditions, it is a bit of a threat in a way, especially if you have to do tight turns. We've got a 50 knot wind hitting large surface areas like the vertical stabilizer. It can be actually difficult to turn away on the stand. You know, if you're on a remote stand, you've got to sometimes bear that in mind. But generally not much changes. but I've had it before where I've had to have a lot of thrust, and you've got to sometimes just point the nose wheel forward before turning. If you try and turn while stationary, there's a lot more inertia, you need to brake free. But anyway, we're all good here. We'll talk about the takeoff. Visually stunning, agreed, Punk. The sim is looking epic today. Really, it is. There we go. He's taking off, and we'll backtrack now. Just forgot to turn on the turn off and taxi lights. Alpaca 26 Golf uniforms lining up backtrack runway 30. Do the wipers work? They don't work, minimums. They don't work. So you can see a little bit of a change of the trend vector there. That will happen because the wind is in excess of 45 knots. So you have it here. And we'll backtrack. Do a before takeoff checklist, and I'll give you some good pointers when you next fly in your simulator and how to deal with these winds on takeoff. We're quite lucky. The wind's pretty much down the runway, but I'll give you a real impression of sort of the inputs I'm making and how realistic it is and what's good and what's not good. I'm just going to do the flow below the line. Oops. Not liking LNAV for some reason. It should take it. It's sort of going on and then going straight off. That's not a problem. We can engage 300. Yeah, it should take LNAV. No, it doesn't want to. Well, you can. If it won't take LNAV on the ground at 400 feet, you can engage it. It should take it on there. But, it should take it. I don't know why it's not. Right, before takeoff checklist. Config we checked. Just checking overhead panel. Flaps we have 5 and a 5 green lights. Stab trim set for departure. It's 5.3 units set. Takeoff briefing. We've got the PAX auto bleeds on. The V speeds are set. They are should be wet speed. Sorry. 123, 133, 144 set. The departure is the Odeva 2 Papa. It's an RNAV SID straight ahead. Victor Golf 740. Climbing to a flight level 310, NADP2, any problems? There's a lot of terrain here actually. I just want to see what the MSA is, guys, to the west. Let me have a look at approach chart here. So you usually get the MSA on the approach chart to 30. So in our direction, MSA is 2,900. So we'll go straight up to 3,000 feet and stay clear of the terrain. That's it. So, windy conditions. First thing I'm noticing during taxiing, the wind is behind us, but the aircraft's not really moving. When you have strong winds, as I mentioned, hitting that vertical stabilizer, it really does like to weathercock into wind. Doesn't seem to be at the moment, unfortunately. So, again, ground handling and the way the aircraft reacts in these conditions isn't always the best. So, that's my first thing I've noted. Right, so takeoff in these conditions. Big threat in the 737 is with the automation. So when you push toga and set takeoff thrust, N1 will engage. Oh, I've got full right rudder here. Why is it not turning? Come on. It's understeering. It's a narrow runway, but you should be able to turn here. Yeah, it's just... We do have a 50-knot wind. I'm not moving at all. Right, I want to get thrust off on the inboard engine. I don't know how well modelled that is. I mean, this should be really weathercocking into wind. It shouldn't be that bad. I've got much more thrust than I would need usually. There we are. Ignore all the random stuff on the runway. That's just default scenery. There we are. So, biggest threat is when you set takeoff thrust, the indicated airspeed at 84 knots, and we'll go to throttle hold. So if takeoff thrust hasn't been set yet, you'll have to set thrust manually. It's something to bear in mind. And rotation, delay the rotation at VR if there's a gust. So we call rotate at the VR speed in the FMC, but the pilot flying can delay rotation if there's a gust, just to get through it. That's about it. So let's have a look at this. We're all ready to go. Just need to re-engage the auto throttle. Still won't take LNAV. So MCP set, transponder is TARA. Thank you very much indeed, Craig Horn, for your £10. Lights are on, checks complete. I'll just let this read out.
Had a 390.
Oh, sorry. You had a 319 divert 2 weeks ago from Keflik that landed with less than a ton of fuel. Ouch. Come visit Glasgow sometime. I'm a dispatcher. Thank you very much, Craig Horn, for your generosity. And I'm sorry it blurted out. I'll read it on after departure there as well. Yeah, a ton. Not comfortable. Toga's in chat. Let's go to Aberdeen and see how this is. Winds in limits. Just got the update as well. Perfect. So 40%. We'd have the wipers on, but they're useless in the sim, so we'll put them on for a bit of immersion anyway. There we are, stabilised. Set takeoff thrust. Right, look at the indicated airspeed. That's excellent. The indicated airspeed's alive. That's perfect. 80 knots, and look how it's got a throttle hold. That is very realistic, guys, in these strong headwinds. Perfect by PMDG. So there's a little bit of a... Oh, very good. Yeah, so delayed the rotation through the gust, so we're airborne. Positive rate of climb. Gears going up. Thank you. And then onto the flight director. So, I mean, it is very static as well, but the way the wind is and the speed there, that's pretty good. Alright, that's a thumbs up from me. Let's engage LNAV. There's a runaway stabilizer. We're going to bug up. And look how we're already at this speed here. Whoa. That's very good. Flap 1. This is exactly what would happen, guys. That's very good by PMDG. And flaps up. Now, why is my speed 205 knots? Did I bug up 205? I'm having a bit of woozy. I have no idea why it's already up there. N1. It didn't feel like 50 knots, the rotation was quite normal, but the way the indicated airspeed reacted at the rotation point was good, and the speed changing like that, it's a little bit... Speed, what is on the wind trend vector though? That's not how it works. But not bad. Right, the wipers would have been coming off as well. Command. Yeah, it was 8 out of 10. It was surprisingly good. The rotation was quite normal. I don't think it felt quite like we were sort of in 50 knots. Like this way, the speed jumped up, and you get the 80 knots very quickly in strong headwind conditions. As I mentioned, you've got to be careful you don't get throttle hold too early before setting takeoff thrust. But otherwise, that's wasn't that bad at all. Pretty impressed, if I'm honest. This though. Yeah, it doesn't change like that. If you look at any strong crosswind landing, takeoff from the cockpit, and look at the ND, these sort of changes and the way the speed is jumping up and down, that's not very realistic. VNAV, yeah, we're getting below the upspeed here. The aircraft is being very lethargic. It's got to pitch down now. It'd level off now. Yeah, come on, get that nose down, get that nose down. Set standard. There we go. Yeah, the PMDG autopilot it's lacking. It's just it would never really let you get below the upspeed even in these conditions. It's still climbing quite hard, and if you were below the upspeed here, it'd really be whilst accelerating, doing 1,000 feet per minute. It's still north of 1,700. So yeah, the autopilot is still requiring a lot of work, but overall, sort of. Microsoft Flight Sim's update is much better, but this sort of gusting between 40 and 5 and 55 and wiggly trend vectors isn't that great. But I'm being very critical, and I'm obviously comparing to a complex real-world machine. Right, anyway, best do the after takeoff checklist. Engine anti-ice can come off. Lighting though, and as we come out of cloud here, it's superb. So, engine anti-ice off, start switches off. These can all come off because we're above 10,000 feet. Let's do the after takeoff checklist first. So air conditioning and pressurization 4.0 climbing. Auto, bleeds on, auto. Air conditioning and pressurization set. Altimeter's standard set, passing 115, flight level 310. We've still got 230 knots in here. What? Wait a minute. Why is it doing 230 knots? Ah, my bad. It's 230 all the way around until 750. Let's keep doing that then. And pre-cruise checks, fuel. We've got 4 pumps on, 5-7 on board. Lights are off. AP's off. Pressurization 4.9 set. We'll leave the passengers on. It's a bit bumpy. Recall checks complete. There we are. So now actually we're above that. That's much better. It's a lot more static now. and it'd be a lot smoother too. That's good. Yeah, overall this update is much better than it was before, that's for sure. Who remembers, I don't know if you watched 2 or 3 months ago a stream in the 146, we landed in New Zealand in Microsoft Flight Simulator in, I think it was Christchurch. It was meant to be like 35 gusting 40. It's like landing in calm winds, so this is certainly a welcome update. Let's see how it is in Aberdeen. There, it flew the SIG quite nicely. The rotation, in real life, the aircraft is really buffeted and bumped around with strong winds, external winds, like we experienced there. You're having to make on rotation. If I was to just disconnect here for a second now, usually in rotation you're honestly like going like this, making inputs like this during the rotation in strong crosswinds and being not physical with it, but just keeping everything nice and stable. It requires a lot of physical input on the controls. It did feel quite dampened on that takeoff, but as I mentioned, it's a desktop simulator. Overall, pretty good. I had a play of the update yesterday briefly, only for about 10 minutes, and it was nice to see. In my opinion, the best represented winds still is active sky with X-Plane 11. X-Plane 11 default winds are rubbish, as is X-Plane 12's, but with active sky, I'm no way affiliated with them, but the active sky plugin is still, having only just really played around with the Microsoft Flight Sim update, the active sky for X-Plane really is an accurate or a far better representation of wind gusts, the way the variable winds adjust between the directions as well. That's really nice. Right, anyway, let's have a little look here in chat. Another word slipped out there. Let's have a look here in chat and see what's what. But the visuals, though, absolutely superb, and the depiction of overcast clouds and the rain, really nice to see. Vasilis, compared with Zebo, can you fly the same conditions with Zebo later? I won't have time today. In X-Plane 12, it won't be as good as this. X-Plane 12 requires a lot of work. X-Plane 11 and Zebo, still, I think... I have a look at any of my strong crosswind streams. In fact, I'll try and find one. It was even from a few years ago. Flight Deck to Sim, let's have a look here in YouTube. Crosswind landing. Every time I've done a strong crosswind landing in the Zebo mod, it's always been really quite good. It's one from 3 years ago, which I'll put in chat here, and I might even put a pinned comment here. It's quite an old stream, but the way the aircraft behaved in this with a 25 knot crosswind in Leeds, I remember, was really good, really quite good. So I can. Sorry, I've had a long day today. Freaking slip, I know. Let's give time to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yes, we are doing today. Captain did a bad word. Behave, you lot. Yeah, Lee Rowlands, I agree. Below flight level 100, something in Microsoft Flight Simulator is making the winds go a little. The way that the gusts and the variable winds are changing is pretty rapid and not great, but the depiction here, the wind is great. And look at this, we're going to make a nice turn southeast, and we're going to have this wonderful tailwind pushing us southeastbound. We're going to get some serious ground speed going on, and we'll go direct to Wick as well, just to tidy up the FMC. That would be a typical clearance at the boundary. So direct to Wick, LNAV. Minimums could be the real aircraft averaging wind speed over time. Seems like something that could be implementing in the sim. No, but that's just not how wind behaves in real life. It doesn't sort of just change rapidly like that. Sort of gusts and wind directions are sort of, they are not instantaneous. They can be quite quick, but they sort of change over a period of seconds, not milliseconds like it is in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But X-Plane 12 and X-Plane 11 are just as guilty of that as well. The way that they model variable winds and the gusts, it makes it extremely difficult for the aircraft to handle accurately. There we are. AG Barberio, why does the speed of the plane increase so fast into a strong headwind? Does it move the fans quicker going into the headwind? Are you talking about the indicated airspeed? So essentially, when you're on the ground stationary, there's already, with the headwind, amount of wind hitting the aircraft. So that's why the indicated airspeed increases so quickly, because we've got a 50 knot headwind in the case of the takeoff there from Vega. So when our ground speed's 30 knots there, Barbero, our indicated airspeed is going to be 80 knots, so that's why we got the 80 knots call so quickly. The takeoff and the way the indicated airspeed behaved on the initial takeoff was really quite good. Coda 101, the sun visor is permitted to be used during landing, or are there rules around when they're permitted and when they're not? You can use them whenever you like. We have the same sun visors as they've modelled here in the PMDG. They're bang on. I have Faros quite normal in the summer, well, around this time here, landing in the evening when the sun's setting. When you're landing on runway 10, you need the sun visor. It can be quite hazy, you can't see anything. So I do sort of have the sun visor there on landing. There's no limitations with regards to using it, but yeah, the modelling and the way they move and how it looks is spot on. Do like that touch. Rumco, I would imagine the real 737 computer doesn't average, so it's changing slower than it actually can be outside. I believe it's instantaneous, Rumco, especially on the trend vector on the ND. Matthew, hello. Need to fly in the high plains of the US to see how fast a gust can kick the speed up and down. Well, yeah, I mean, it can really make a change as well. I remember flying in Storm... whatever it was as captain, it was the strongest winds I'd flown in, and we landed at my home airport. It was pretty much down the runway, but it was 40 gusting 55. And when I disconnected, we had a huge gust at about 600 feet, and the wind, we were at VRF plus 5. I was doing my best to keep it between VRF plus 20, and it went from VRF plus 5 all the way to VRF plus 20 in about 2 seconds. You felt the whole aircraft jerk and be knocked around as well. They can change quite quickly. That's usually from mechanical turbulence, from external factors such as buildings, terrain. Giuseppe, would you recommend becoming a pilot 30 years old, incurring a huge student debt? I mean, Giuseppe, when I did my training nearly 13 years ago now, wow. There were guys on my course in their early 30s, and they all now have, well, most of them actually left-hand seat, like me. It really depends on your personal situation and your ability to take those costs as well. That, there's a significant amount of cost involved with flight training and a loan needed as well. I had to take a loan, but it's a lot more expensive now. Right, vertical speed, 1,000 feet to go. Look at that ground speed, 530 knots. That's a chonky tailwind. And top of descent is a 16:14, a little over 15 minutes away. So as soon as we get to top climb, we'll start setting up for the approach in Aberdeen. How is the weather there now? I think it's calming down, so I hope it... 330 at 22. That's not gnarly enough at all. That's just a 22 knot headwind. We're going to have to... I think we're going to have to land in Aberdeen and quickly spawn somewhere to try a proper crosswind landing. Can anyone find somewhere, anywhere in the world, which has got a 25 knot crosswind? Oh, look at that. Well, that was a bit unrealistic. We just lost 50 knots of our tailwind, and you can see resultantly the indicated airspeed jumped 50 knots. I think there's obviously some issues still getting the live weather updated in the sim, but yeah, we lost about 100 knots of tailwind there. There we are. Vega left behind. Lee Rowlands, could you explain how flight level change works in the PMDG and where you'd use it? I always use VNAV or vertical speed to ensure how level change works. So yes, in climb, you don't really use level change. You only use VNAV. VNAV and level change sort of behave in the same way. level change is great in descent because it's a basic descent mode where the aircraft just simply pitches for the speed here, and if you've got the auto throttle initially set to idle thrust, it's the quickest way to go down is level change. So if for example, if I was to set flight level 300, select level change, the aircraft will pitch for a speed, whatever's in the MCP, and go idle thrust. VNAVs if you're on profile pretty much. VS is yeah, the aircraft will fly whatever vertical speed you set. Essentially, that's how we use the different modes there. Robert Alcott, where's that? Birmingham Airport are based on live weather. Is that, what's the crosswind there? We could do a touch and go and then continue to Birmingham. I should have enough fuel for it. 32016, yeah, that will be directly across. Oh no, that's down the runway, isn't it? 33. No, Birmingham's no good. We need somewhere with a strong crosswind. Bobby C, do you get intimidated by big winds? Maybe a come down after walking away from the aircraft is needed. Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness me, what is going on here? Back to 96 knot tailwinds. Yeah, the weather updating's a bit all over the place here. I'll get back to you. Thank you again. My goodness me.
How good are you at visualize? Ever tried Gibraltar? I tried it and 3 go-arounds later still failed the landing, both in A320 and 737.
Well, Flakes Black Rider UK, yes, we do fly visual approaches as my operator. When we've got fare-paying passengers on board, we utilise the flight directives. We actually build an approach in the FMC, use LNAV and VNAV, but certainly the last part of the approach, the visual element, you want to be very much concentrating on your pitch and power settings, Black Rider UK. So pitch and power is everything. Typically for a 737 landing around 60 tons, you want about 1 degree on your attitude, 57%, and work off that. You won't be too far off the required vertical profile for a 3-degree descent path there. It's all about practice, but pitch and power is the key thing there to ensure a stabilised approach. Thank you again for your generosity. Now, coming back to Bobby C's question, intimidated by winds, there's certainly an element of apprehension, but the thing is, we plan for these situations. The company is a very much an open to extra fuel in these conditions. For example, we actually got an email today to say, look, due to conditions over Europe and convective weather, you know, plan up to max landing weight for your extra fuel. Don't mess around, guys. So when the winds are extremely strong on limits, you know, we're sort of taking an additional of 1 hour plus extra fuel. And then on top of that, an alternate, you want a banker alternate, an alternate you know you can go to, and it's well within limits. And that means certainly in the UK, diverting off island as an option. When we had Storm, I think it was Eunice we were talking about earlier, I had an alternate in Holland. It was the only place which was decent. I would have, of course, tried to get in somewhere. So I had plus an hour fuel, plus an alternate off island. I actually got into my destination landing with 6.5 tons of fuel, but it just gives you that little bit of peace and tranquility to not have to worry about it there. Echo Golf Alpha Alpha, 22 gusting 30 crosswind. Are we diverting there then? Do you want me to divert to Echo Golf Alpha Alpha? You can do if you want. That's Belfast. I mean, it's a heck of a diversion, but let's have a look here. Ooh, that would be far better though. If you have the fuel, yes. Let's have a little look here. We should do, with the extra fuel I took and going straight away to Belfast. Yeah, no problem, guys. I'll add 20 minutes to the flight plan. Unusual. Right. Well, let's talk about diversions. Are we going to get a yes in chat to divert to Belfast to do a 22 knot crosswind gusting? Let's hope it stays that way. And 2,700 metres of wind. Is this Belfast International or Aldergrove? Or is it Aldergrove? I can't remember which one's which. Or City. Oh, absolutely yes, divert. Okay, let's go to Belfast then. My goodness. Right, sorry if you wanted to see Aberdeen, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to Echo Golf Alpha Alpha. So, diversions. If you have to divert en route for whatever reason, first things first is sort of how we go through a decision-making process. You know, why are we diverting? What's the reason? Let's say for operational reasons. Let's imagine an aircraft, let's say Jim's brother Jim 2, Jim the second, flew his Cessna 150, and he's ground looped it in quite impressive for a tricycle for a front nose wheel. But let's say he's ground looped it in Aberdeen. The airport's closed. Now, operationally, we'd have far more suitable alternates for Northern Ireland. But the same process goes. Let's say we contact the company and said, oh, you know, these passengers actually all had a connecting flight to Belfast, Aldergrove. Could you go there? Right, let's have a look here then. So first things first, go to the route page, page 1 here, and we'll update Belfast Aldergrove into here. So it's going to be Echo Golf Alpha Alpha. This now gives us the option to select arrivals here into Belfast. Now we're going to be coming in from the northeast. Let's select a suitable arrival and star, and we can route direct to that waypoint. So Echo Golf Alpha Alpha, Belfast International. It's going to be runway 25
50,
with that crosswind
40,
there.
30.
Julia
20,
Roberts,
10.
thank you for the £2. Only just behind me by a few feet. Appreciate it, Mom.
Irish holiday with flight deck to sim instead of a hard day's filming. Yes, please.
A hard day's filming. Well, thanks for the £2, Julia Roberts. We're going to Belfast, baby. Unbelievable. Oh, thank you very much, whoever that is. Great sense of humour. Yeah, Belfast doesn't have stars, does it? Arrivals. Let's come in via Blacker then. So what we're going to do, firstly, let's go to the legs page. We'll type in Blacker so we at least get the aircraft going in the right direction. Execute, LNAV available, and the aircraft's now going to turn direct to Blacker. It's a huge diversion
50,
routing,
40,
but we should have...
30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much to Julia Roberts, Agents for the Pound. He says, Wompat, we are not amused. Unbelievable.
50,
Belfast.
40, 30, 20.
Belfast Airport
10.
Authority, thank you very much for the £5.
Ackers MSG, landing fee £87.50. Send via PayPal. Parking £4.50 per day and short stay car park.
Unbelievable, thank you very much Belfast Airport Authority for the £5 and for permission for diverting there, very much appreciated. Thank you, whoever that was, I don't know what to say, my goodness. Right, so we're routing, now you can see the mess here in the FMC, but credit to PMDG where credit is due. The way it's all depicted and with what we have in the FMC is exactly what would appear. You know, we've got all this mismatching information, but we really need to tidy up the FMC here. And cake with that landing fee, unbelievable, Mike. Hope you're doing well, buddy. We've got the arrivals direct to Blacker, and then we're going to fly, it'll have to be ILS-25 with that wind. So what we're going to do, we're going to go straight to the centre fix, guys, just keep it simple. So we're going to go departure arrivals, Belfast, ILS-25. We've got several transitions. Where's Ringer? I don't even know where that is, but we'll just select ILS-25. I'm going to go Blacker, direct to centre fix. We're getting all these messages because the FMC doesn't know where we're going. And we'll execute that. And that should now have updated everything. So we're diverting. Fuel arrivals actually a decent amount there, 3.3 tons. You know, we took that extra 30 minutes, which we're very much using. Top of descent now is quite a distance away. 33, just giving ourselves an extra 20 minutes. And that's pretty much at this stage all you need to do. FMC's loaded with the updated routing. Routing direct to Blacker. If we get any VATSIM or ATC, we'll have to explain we're diverting for operational reasons / testing purposes. But with that tailwind, that is actually pretty useful. Now what I'll do, I'll update Fly Live on the top here as well, so that's up to date. Echo Golf Alpha Alpha for Belfast, press OK. There we are, I've updated the routing information too. So yeah, LNAV, VNAV can be engaged, and we'll crank up the speed as well. Yeah, PMDG, really nice. Look, because we've got a strong tailwind, you know, we are lower, but we have quite a low Mach number because based off our cost index, and with strong tailwinds, it'll fly at a slower speed. That's really quite nice to see. But we are going to crank it up manually anyway to 7.8 just to keep the show on the road here. Let's execute. Off we go. Excellent. On our way. This to be due to weather, not a good option. The weather's actually better, let's say, for operational reasons. The wind at Belfast is also forecast to reduce. Right now it is a nice gnarly 24 knot gusty crosswind, so let's hope it stays that way. If the weather gets better, we'll have to divert again. Unbelievable. Is it normal to have speed manually set? No. I think we might have had a VNav disconnect there because we're updating the routing. But yeah, really, PMDG is performing very well so far. Very impressed. This has been hilarious. Thank you very much for everyone's generosity today as well. Off the scale, never ever required. If you are enjoying the video, do ask you smash the thumbs up button. That's all I ever ask for my viewers there. But yeah, 40 new members joined. That's unbelievable. Crazy. And Julia Roberts in the back and her entourage, very generous as well. Thank you, whoever that is. Domino Mosina, if the winds are better in Aberdeen, will that be a divert to destination then? Yeah, it's getting a bit confusing now, technically. Mike had a nice 15 knot crossing into Newcastle for my ferry flight this morning. Was that the 7-8? If you don't know, guys, Mike's a good friend of mine who's a 787 first officer who I actually went to school with. Known him for the best part of 18, 19 years. Welcome. And if you have just joined the stream, welcome. We've had a wonderful time so far. Great laugh. We are diverting. We were originally flying from Vagar to I can't remember where we were meant to be going, Aberdeen, but because the Aberdeen winds are not very good, or not good to test the aircraft, we're diverting to Belfast where it's far windier and inclement. Makes perfect sense. Welcome aboard there, Pedro. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for subscribing. Steve Waters, this is your captain speaking. The weather is too nice at our planned destination, so we're just going to have to fly to some heavy winds today. Seatbelt signs on. Brilliant. Minimums. If ATR's the best speed at high altitude, how close to VMAX can you go given speed fluctuations? Great question. Welcome. If AT wants a high speed, they usually actually give an indicated airspeed. They're sort of aware of the maximum speeds that we can fly. Typically, most commercial jet aircraft, it's anything north of 320 knots is approaching VMO. So if they were to ask for a high speed, usually I'd give 300, maybe 320 knots if it was still conditions. I have been told once to do 320, but because it was quite bumpy and the speed was jumping up and down in December, we did ask to reduce to 300. And now 80 is very accommodating for those sort of things. Welcome aboard NJTE and Paul Agan for subscribing. Hope you're doing well. What a entertaining stream this has been. It's nice to actually shake it up a bit instead of doing a normal flight from A to B. But it's been great fun. Nice Domino Cena. Unbelievable. Where on earth are we now with this significant change of routing? I need to get rid of this. And we'll bring up the aircraft there. Bye-bye routing. There's our destination.
Minimums.
2 tons, thanks for your continued support. 33 months as a member. Tuning in between meetings. I assume your in real life sectors today were uneventful. Thank you very much, 2 tens. Completely uneventful, thankfully. Actually, it was a really nice day. We had a small slot this morning, delayed us by about 15 minutes. But no, went to one of the Balearic Islands. Turnaround was very good. It was very busy down there. Came back. Thunderstorms are forecast potentially, but by the time we got there, it all cleared away. And we landed about 20 minutes late on the way back because we had really strong headwinds. This very jet stream that you see in the simulator now was the very jet stream that today I was flying in literally 4 or 5 hours ago, heading back to the UK, as I mentioned. Flight time difference of 25 minutes due to these winds. Hey Anon, hope you're doing well. Just from work, have I missed anything exciting? It's been a very eventful stream so far. We're now diverting to somewhere far less suitable than our destination. Hope you had a good day at work. Jamlin, 32 months. I'm working on the corporate outback livery for the PMDG 73. Hopefully work won't be too busy for me to finish it soon. Thank you very much, Jamlin. In fact, I've got Bounce updated this one here. I mean, let me turn the sound here. Check out this livery. I don't know if it's been updated on the Alpaca Airways livery website, but this is the Boeing Alpaca Airways livery here, looking resplendent in the simulator. Chill out outside for a bit, and then we'll start setting up for the approach into Belfast. Turn the sim down, it's so loud out here. I've just realised I've got the skimmer to wingtips. Matteo, can you explain the TCAS system in the 737? well, as regards to the sort of how we use it in the aircraft, I won't go into all the technical facts, but yes, it works off a transponder, and how this works, it interrogates other aircraft and looks at the closure rate between different aircraft to see if there's a threat, and it'll be depicted on the ND as either approximate traffic, if it gets a little closer, and then we'll have a TA, which will be a yellow circle when it's within 45 seconds of projected impact. If we get a TA, we don't have to make any reaction, but we'd prepared for an RA. We'd verify the position of the other aircraft, see where it is, and then an RA, a resolution advisory, requires immediate action. Disconnect the automation, follow the guidance. Just turn this music down here on the PFD. It's usually a pitch up or pitch down, climb or descend instruction. Ignore anything that ATC tells you and tell them unable TCAS RA. Once clear of conflict, we then return to our desired flight level, and that's how we're using the aircraft. Yeah, sorry, Mike, not my best pronunciation. You've got them on yours, we don't have them on ours. Andrew, you'd upset Jimmy Cranky on board, who was due to pick up a couple of cases of Bell's Finest. Oh, he'll be right, I'll have to have some Irish whiskey. See if I can get into the cabin, there we go. I've got 2 standbys coming up as well, so maybe a stream on Wednesday as well. Matthew, hope you're doing well, buddy. How often does the 7.3 need to drink water? Is the preferred method of your operator by filling the potable water tanks, or to allow the 737s to drink themselves at the lake? Has anyone seen the I forgot, was it West Atlantic? They had an overrun in Montpellier. Been talking about that with my colleague today at work. Was it Montpellier, I think? Somewhere in the south of France. But yeah, I think that was a destabilised approach and they continued or something, but I can only sit here comfortably in my seat and say that. I'm not sure what happened in the background. But yeah, potable water, Matthew March, it's typically changed most sectors, and the waste is done as well, especially on the Canary flights. Typically, you can get 3 sectors of a full aircraft. There'll be enough potable water. There are restrictions for departure if we've got a full flight and there's no potable water as well in the MEL, but I've never usually had any issues there. Some destinations, though, the water might not be a suitable type. It might not meet the required, I don't know what it is, but we basically have company no terms say do not upload potable water from this airport for whatever reason, because it's not good enough or something. But yeah, typically changed or uplifted every sector. Right, anyway, let's have a little look here in the cockpit. Top of descent's 136 miles. I just hope it stays windy. Again, if it's not, we'll land. We're not going anywhere else from Belfast. I don't have enough fuel really, but yeah, it's showing 14, gusting 24. It is forecast to keep dropping off, guys, this evening. So fingers crossed it stays that way. Water was too swampy. Unbelievable. Yeah, Nick Tiss, straight in landing, 2:30 local time. Over around the row approach looked very drive and dive. Yeah. So someone told me that they were destabilised at 500 feet. They were doing in excess of 1,000 feet per minute. Ground speed was high. Wet runway as well, and they landed quite long. It's quite a long runway in Montpellier. I think it's 2,500 metres. So all of these factors build into the risk of an overrun here. We have very strict approach criteria. I'm sure their operator did. We're all human. We make mistakes, but I don't want to ever be involved in an incident like this. I have diverted once because I was not happy with the performance, and at my operator we actually presumed standing water and very heavy precipitation. At the time, operations were sort of questioning, what was the reason for the diversion? And I said, I was concerned about the braking action. I couldn't get an accurate braking action from ATC, and I actually got, the company said, 'cause I diverted, obviously it's inconvenient, but the company actually called me up to the safety office the next day and said, yeah, good job, right decision, carry on as you are. So it's always, safety is key, and know your rules, know your limitations, and make sure you respect them. I'm very fortunate my operator has an absolute, they encourage diversions if you're not happy. They encourage go-arounds, if you're destabilised, there is literally a no-blame policy for go-arounds, as most operators are these days as well. Right, let's have a look at Belfast then. Descent page, let's get these winds in. We have a very strong wind in here. Now we are diverting. The winds are based off our original flight plan. They're not going to be too far off from what they will be at our present position when we divert. So when we descend. So we'll use the same ones. Forecast winds in. We'll put 310 winds, 200 and 100. It could be a little bit different actually because we're over the jet stream. As you're flying away, we'll be out the jet stream, but no, they're looking quite close to forecast here. 323 at 101, very strong. 200 is 327 at 51. And welcome 327 at 41. Thanks for subscribing there, Johnny Mon 211. Welcome on board, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for your subscription. Welcome to the channel. QNH is 1006 in Belfast. And runway 25 will be landing on today. Straight in. 10.4 miles. Time permitting, I'll do a touch and go for you guys, but we'll see how we get on. Descent page fixings are in. Let's grab the charts. So there's no arrival. We're sort of flying. Oh yes, got it. Yeah, I need to update. New flights. Just so I can pin the charts, really. Echo Kilo Victor Golf. Echo Golf Alpha Alpha. Oh no, I don't want this digital one. Create. That would just allow me to pin the charts, guys. Or not. Why can't I add that to the pin board? Approach. LS25. No, it won't let me pin it. Don't know why. So we're going to come straight in from 25 via Blacker. It'll be a nice intercept from this direction, coming in directly from the north. MSA highest to the southeast 3,500. We'll tune the ILS frequency, which is 1099. Sorry, I forgot to get rid of the charts again. Because I can't see them, it can be a bit tricky. 1099. Course is 247. Two four seven, and height check at 2,500. Minimums Cat 1 468. Excess data. Zoom in slightly. It is good, this add-on, guys. I must stress it. It really is good from a systems point of view.
Minimums.
It's excellent.
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
468 set. Welcome as a member, Cockpit 1.
50.
Hope you're doing well.
40,
Glad you joined the content.
30,
Members only Discord for you.
20.
And also we have Black Rider again for another £5. My goodness.
I might be doing a CAT DSIM experience soon with a real 737 line training captain YouTube. Any advice to not make myself look like an absolute goober?
Absolute goober. Amazing Black Rider UK. It's not me, is it? Thank you very much for £5. I don't instruct anymore. My TRI will be lapsing at some point, which is sad times, but quite happy on the line, to be honest. Thanks to the £5. Any advice? Just watch my videos. You'll learn everything. No, talk to your colleague, friend, or whoever he is. He'll give you some advice and what to do and how to have some fun. I'd recommend, doing some takeoff and landing, some general handling, then perhaps turning up a notch and have a look at some crosswind landings, or perhaps trying one of a bit more of a challenging approach. Have some fun. I'd thoroughly recommend talking to your friend and see what he can do for you in the sim there. But very exciting for you, and thank you very much for your £5. Very kind indeed. So, frequencies courses minimums are set. RVR 550 metres. Last I checked it is a little hazy. Yeah, 2,700 metres and light rain and haze. So actually we want to be configuring at 5 miles today because we'll be in IMC. Wind is still coming in quite strongly from the northwest there. So we've got a 24 knot crosswind with the gust. It'll be really interesting to see how it depicts that. We have to go around. It'll be continuous climb to 3,000 feet. Initially to 2,500. Right turn back to the Belfast VOR to hold 3,000. That is coded. 2,500 feet. Right turn to Belfast to hold 3,000. Max 210 knots in the hold. We can then go straight outbound for another approach. So let's get this all set up. 17.2 for the VOR. Coming up on standby. 17.2. 17.2. Perfect. So that's it. Now performance. Belfast, we have quite a... Oh no, it's good, isn't it? 2,700 metres. I've not been here before, so 2,700. Yeah, it's more than long enough. We'll plan to vacate onto 1735 if it's open, and then right on Charlie onto the main apron. That will do. That will be about 2,200 metres. And with these winds, preferably flat 30. So 600 kilos to burn. Landing weight will be 58.5. We'll go flat 30. Water brake 3. We'll go second detent for brake cooling, and then we'll vacate, as mentioned, on the 1735 runway right turn onto Charlie. And this will be just a default airport, I'm afraid, guys. That is it. We've covered everything. Frequencies, courses, minimums, briefing, crosswind landing. I have a tutorial for that. I won't go into a huge amount of detail. I will on the approach talk about what I'm going to do with regards to the inputs, but I have a crosswind landing tutorial in the Zebo mod in X-Plane 11. Where using Active Sky, I do really prefer how that feels and everything like that. So again, we'll see after this approach what I think about that, but it will probably be better here. Right, let's post this in chat. There we go. So yeah, if you want to save that, have a look at how to land in the crosswind in a Boeing 737. That is your go-to here. Glad to see some other people diverting with me. That's brilliant. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see on VATSIM how that's catered for. Beautiful scenery here. A little bit of a ortho thing going on down there, but yeah. Really, guys, I will say this honestly, if you want a proper all-round good sim experience, I think Microsoft Flight Sim and the PMDG 7.3 is probably a good way to go. If you want the overall experience, I'm really happy or we'll continue to see how Zebo and X-Plane 12 develop. You know, still for me handling X-Plane 11, certainly not X-Plane 12 at the moment. It needs a lot of work. X-Plane 11, the mod, it handles far better as well. But Zebo in X-Plane 12 needs a lot of work. You know, we did a members group flight on Saturday, and there was a lot of issues with it at this present time. Rudder away, aileron in. Yeah, different ways of remembering. That's one way of doing it. That's what I always just sort of go, yeah, opposite rudder, aileron into wind. That's the way I used to say in the sim. Tony McFlatty, great at crosswinds other than centerline tracking. Brilliant. The thing is, the key thing about crosswind landing is an aircraft like this is to break it up into 2 steps. Don't forget to check close hold, landing technique we teach at my operator in the 737, because when people are exposed to this the first time in the type rating, they can already land, they can do the check close hold and land in still wind conditions, and when they are introduced to some crosswind, they now have to think about the rudder and aileron. So when you apply downwind rudder to decrab, we generally land decrab technique, especially on a dry runway. As the upwind wing swings forward, there's an increase in lift, and the aircraft really wants to roll, so it's actually quite a lot of roll input required in the 737. Now, having played with the PMDG 7.3 previously, last night and before, the amount of aileron input needed whilst decrabbing is nowhere near the amount that would be required in real life. Somewhere where the Zebo mod excels in is the rudder and aileron input required whilst decrabbing is very realistic. We'll see today, because we will have as long as the wind doesn't update and drop off. No, it's dropped off! It's 320.15 now. Well, it's still a 14 knot crosswind, but I wanted the gusts there. Damn it. Right, we're not having much luck with these winds today, updating and changing, but I knew that would happen because it's forecast to get better. And now it's 10k. It's gone from a gnarly afternoon to improving. Switch to runway 07. No, that'll be a tailwind. We don't want that. Let's divert again. Let's divert. Is there anywhere else near Belfast with gnarly winds? Just all I'm doing is briefing. Oh, dear. Yeah, time permitting, I might quickly spawn somewhere. Oh dear, a little bit of oscillation in altitude here. Climbing at 450 feet per minute. My goodness. We could go back to Vega, but the wind's down the runway there. Yeah, but I'm only basing this off the METAR, and the METAR is what we'll see in the simulator. So hopefully it'll pick up again. It's forecast until 1700 Zulu to be gusting up to 28 knots, 320. Look at you guys trying all these different airports. We've got Hale in Newcastle, look, 35016. Liverpool, I'm going to run out of fuel. What would Liverpool be right now? Oh, actually no, Liverpool would have been good. A little bit more down the runway, but still a 16 knot crossing with the gust and 31 knots. We'll see, time permitting, guys. Let's complete the flight, and I can quickly spawn in somewhere and do a quick circuit. Can you make it to Miami or Havana? Well, in real time, keeping the flight as realistically as possible, no, we'll be going for a swim in the Atlantic. But maybe we could spawn there. Ish. Struggling to maintain altitude here, but approaching top of descent, 16 miles to go. Looking beautiful down there. There we are. Open, wow. Actually, this is very close. I've been used to go on holiday here as a kid. Loch Melfort we used to go to. And open just here on the right. Beautiful part of the world, this place. See, this never happens to me in real life. Whenever I fly in real life, the weather gets worse. I'm trying to find somewhere where the weather's really bad, but it keeps getting better. That just doesn't happen in real life. Where's that EGNS, Isle of Man? That's actually not too far off. We'll spawn there. We're going to crack on with Belfast now. 6 miles to go, so we'll set a lower level. Let's go down to 80. How far PMDG from the Zebo in-flight model? It's very good. There are some limitations within this simulator. What is it, this flight model they use in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Is it CAD or something like that? You know, I think that's sort of bypassed with PMDG and other high-quality add-ons. They use their own custom flight model. Yeah, I think I've caused a lot of debate in forums, and I think some people have been sharing links to me, and also my comments as well. For me, regardless of how it works in the background, I like how Blade Element 3 works. It just feels better. CFD, not CAD. Yeah, computational flow dynamic simulation. Yeah, I don't know if devs like PMDG are utilising that technology or not, but on a swept-wing aircraft, it's got to be quite complex to model. Okay, Belfast is still showing 330 at 14, gusting 24. We're still 25 minutes away though. Top of descents in chat, down we go. Oh my goodness me.
Welcome.
So a lot of new members have joined the Discord. Welcome aboard if you are one of the many people who either joined as a member or is a gifted member today. To join the members only Discord, go to Google, type in YouTube Discord synchronization, follow the steps there, that'll generate your invite. The Discord only accepts YouTube members. if you leave as a member, it'll automatically boot you, I think, after the end of your YouTube membership, I think after 24 hours or so. But thank you to all those gifted people that joined earlier on in the chat. That was very generous from Black Rider UK. Thanks, sir. Thanks for subscribing, Harry. Welcome aboard. In the descent now. 273 knots, exactly what you get with Cost Index 30 as well. So we've got Glasgow, EGPK is Glasgow Prestwick and Ayrshire. That's down there. Saw something up there. I noticed a little bit of stuff on the glass. Cheers, Black Rider UK. Mike, yeah, what do you think of Donny closing? Yeah, it's Doncaster. Yeah, I mean, small airport for the UK. I mean, Wizz Air used it, TUI used it, Ryanair used it, but I don't think they just they can't get a competition with. You got East Midlands, Birmingham, all these airports in the Midlands area. Don't think they just could justify keeping it as an international airport. Yeah, Mort the second was a really good point there. Yeah, let's see how the wind's depicted. Ed to 23 months, buddy. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. Sorry I haven't been around too much time hanging out with Mickey Mouse. What? Are you on holiday? I think you mentioned it, didn't you? I hope you and FO Jack are doing well. Do a barrel roll. Unbelievable. I'm not doing a barrel roll. I don't do sort of those childish things in my streams.
Do a barrel roll!
Unbelievable. Cheers, Ed2. That might have deafened a lot of you there. That was incredibly loud. Looks beautiful down there. Donald Trump have a golf course around here. Anyway, inbound to Blackett. Fingers crossed for these wins. Come on, Tex, it's not a 737, it's a Dash 8. Black Rider, you tried doing a barrel roll on the PMDG, you just wouldn't do it, just nosedive. But do you try and do a barrel roll or an aileron roll? An aileron roll, you just yank the aileron round, but this will drop very quickly if you do that. But a barrel roll, you sort of pitch up, don't you, and sort of go, imagine you're around a barrel. I think that's quite a hard manoeuvre. I bet that, long may rest in peace, the American pilot, who was the guy that barreled the 707, what a legend he was. His video where he was in a commando, I think, and he cuts the engines, doing about 300 knots, and he just keeps all the energy in the plane. He does like a full display with the engines off. Incredible pilot skills. I'd be useless at that. We'll have a bit of fun in Level D Sim, but yeah, those are some real skills. So Tex Johnson, I can't remember. 2 tons time permitting spawn in Mike Whiskey Charlie Romeo Hurricane Ian nearby significant crosswind 08 170 at 23 gusting 36 noted 2 tons. Mike Whiskey Charlie Romeo, where's that? Should be okay, guys. 7037 need to be sort of done by 6:15. Yeah. I'm thinking of Bob Hoover. That's who I was thinking of, Alex. His excuse was it's a 1G manoeuvre. Amazing. Yeah, that was it. Bob Hoover in the Air Command. A great YouTube video. Very old one. But so far so good. PMDG's behaving nicely. On speed. On our VNAV. Still, actually, our flight times I think we added about 5 minutes. Because if you divert in the cruise,
50,
it's make a huge
40,
difference there.
30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Sammy Tech Cookie. for the €2. Appreciate it, buddy.
But just arrived at Antalya with the A20N smile.
Buh. Is that in real life or in the sim? If so, either. Very cool. Thank you very much for your €2 donation, Sammy Take Cookie. Hope you're doing well. Regardless of where you are, be it in Antalya in real life or in the sim. Cheers, buddy. Adita, she saw him fly in person. Real awesome. That's awesome. So Tex Johnson did the barrel on the 7.0. Sorry, I thought that was the same as Bob Hoover. Well, both. Both are incredible pilots, both were. Oh, in Microsoft Flight Sim. Very cool though, Sammy Tech Cookie. Hope you had a safe virtual flight. Had the seatbelt sign on all day. Well, it's been pretty bumpy. So still got this nice 61 knot tailwind. Let's just get an update on this METAR at Belfast. 320 at 15. Pfft. Not gnarly enough. We need 28 plus. Sim's looking very nice though. Ooh, yeah, I don't like these jittery wings though in PMDG. But visually, beautiful. Should have gone to Vagar. Well, we departed Vagar. We could have done a 180. Not much of a crosswind though, straight down the runway. Hoo Chum, does the blended differ to fly compared with the split winglets? I've never flown the split winglets, but no, there'd been no noticeable change. Really, all it is a increase in efficiency, I think, on certain leg sectors. Oh, I didn't know that. SU-10 gives better clouds, better details in them, and more variation. Yeah, I can definitely see that. They look excellent. Really good. Press switch just off to our left down there. Air shear. Got 3.4 tons of fuel on board. Georgetown in the Cayman Islands. Well, I think we'll head there. If it's a bit lackluster here in Belfast, we'll have a quick visual circuit there. Earth and Adman, isn't East Midlands a good place to practice crosswind landings? They have easterly-westerly runway with the prevailing wind from sort of southwest in the UK. That generally would have crosswinds there. But yeah, there's all. I mean, well, Leeds Bradford's the best place in the UK because that is actually was built, I believe, by the RAF to practice crosswind landings because it's 90 degrees to prevailing wind. That's where you want to go. Yeah, Connor Martin's split skimmers only give you a good fuel saving after a 2+ hour flight. Off the top of my head, it's about 3% fuel saving, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so if you're flying predominantly short sectors, you're actually going to burn more fuel, which is an increase in parasitic drag, I believe. So for certain airlines, it wouldn't be a worthwhile investment. Yeah, Mike, Bristol's good for rubbish stuff.
50,
Haven't been to Leeds.
40,
Cannot confirm defy.
30, 20, 10.
Thank you, Knock Airport Authority, for the £5.
Ackers MSG, we offer to beat Belfast landing fee. £65.22 free parking. Woolworths gift voucher. Still valid. Rural Ireland.
Woolworths?
Didn't hear about the closure.
Unbelievable. Rural Ireland didn't hear about the closure. Unbelievable. Woolworths. God, I haven't heard anyone say Woolworths in a number of years. Thank you very much, Knock Airport Authority, for the £5. Trying to upbeat Belfast for another diversion. Thank you very much, your generosity, whoever you are. Great sense of humour, sir. Oh, madam. Thank you. Unbelievable. Octavio, here is a nice one in Argentina. Yeah, I think if we do have time to have a little look there, I'll head over to the Cayman Islands. Mike Whiskey Charlie Romeo. We'll have a little play here. Let's see how it is in Belfast first. Speed's a little high, but aircraft's looking good. Oh, there's ATC everywhere actually at the moment. Yeah, it's a divert. I'm actually just going to pop offline there. Domino Mosina waiting for Szczecin Airport Authority. Brilliant. Gabrielle, I'm so uncertain about the PMDG 7.3 or the A320 Phoenix yet. I like both. Any suggestions? Well, I think Phoenix offer a overall better core product. So you've got that amazing EFB with the Navigraph and OFP implementation and a performance calculator as well. I think V1 Simulations and 320 SimPilot really like it as well. So the PMDG is excellent. Don't forget you get the PMDG 600 for $35. You know, if you're on a tight budget and you want all the PMDG goodness, just get the 600, save half price, unless you really want the 700 or 800. It's the same aeroplane. You get a few less variants, but you still get the classic. And you get the sportiest 7.3 of them all. Approaching Blacker and the decel point, the aircraft will start pitching up now to get to 250 knots. That's what these two green circles represent. None of this Airbus squiggly arrow nonsense.
50, 40,
Cairo FIR.
20, 10.
You lot. Thanks for the £2.
Cairo will allow you a special one-time reduced landing fee of £10 and 33 pence as long as you promise not to wedge your ship on our runways.
Thank you very much, Cairo FIR. No, I won't do whatever that ship did in your canal a few months back. Thank you very much indeed. That's a bargain compared to the fees offered by Knock and Belfast. But a long way to go. That's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Outrageous. Right, post-cruise checks coming up. Fuel 4 pumps. We've got 3.4 on board. Lights coming on. Don't need the logo light on. Angular bank should be set to 25 degrees. Pressurization 4.0 on the diff. And set. Verify seatbelts on. Recool. And that's it.
50,
Checks complete.
40, 30, 20,
Guys!
10.
Unbelievable.
Don't bother, we're closed.
Doncaster Airport has said £5. Don't bother, we're closed. Unbelievable. I don't know what to say all this. Unbelievable. What's this? I'm trying to find a suitable sound thing. What's this one? No, not that one. I pressed the wrong one. I've got a new soundboard and all these sort of things here. That was the wrong one. I was trying to find the... No, I literally cannot find it. Alright. Yeah, okay, that's enough. Concentrating now. Right, we're inbound to the centre fix now, 80. We're going to descend to the platform altitude for the approach. Oh dear. 2,500. MSA in this sector is 3,000, but we're fully visual. 2,500 feet coming into the MCP. Set local QNH 1005. It was actually 1006, passing 8,200 for 2,500 feet. Standby altimeter set. So far, so good by the PMDG 737. Play that sound anyway. No. Could you get a 738 down on Sumbra? 1,400 meters on 27. Yeah, I could do, Jamlin. I've actually done a stream into Sumbra. And we've done Santos Dumont, which is even shorter. You definitely need short field performance for that. You need a checklist for your soundboard, I know, and it was incredibly loud. I was trying to find the laugh one for the Doncaster donation, but that was very, very generous of all these people here. Thank you. Captain's weather in Cairo. Yeah, I should think it's what severe Cavo K. 5 knots variable winds. Right, let's get an update on the METAR here. Belfast, 32015. Yeah, it's not when we diverted, it was gusting up to 29. Not gnarly enough. We'll see how it is. Then, too bad at all.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Free drinks here.
Montpellier Airport, thanks for £5 free drinks here. I think that's in reference to a certain cargo operator who might have overspilt his landing. Oops. Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you, sir. Oh my god.
50,
Oh, guys.
40, 30, 20,
No. I got to mute you lot. Thank you. Al Makatum International for the £5.
We can offer you one-time special landing fees of £1.99. We can send a tanker for fuel if required.
Oh my
Please
goodness.
do the needful and revert back if you accept our kind offer.
Thank
Well-
you. Oh, I don't know what to say, but fiver from El Makatu International. Belfast coming in again for a fiver donation. Thanks for subscribing as
50,
well.
40,
Children.
30, 20, 10,
Unbelievable. Thanks again. Oh,
We'll give you free tato crisps if you stay with Lockney.
I don't even know what's going on here. Unbelievable. Thanks, Belfast
50,
Airport Authority. Black
40,
Rider as well. Oh
30,
no, stop.
20,
I'm gonna be. I'll be on yoke cam, which will mute all the alerts anyway. So, unbelievable. Thank you.
Donation hype, let's break the stream along.
Yeah, you've broken me a good, guys. Extremely generous. You know, I just don't know what to say. Thank you very much for all your generosity.
50,
Stop it.
40,
Stop
30,
it. Kaitak.
20, 10,
Oh, stop it. I need to
We will
concentrate.
reopen just for you. Also, no landing fee.
Well, I'll make a mess if I try to land there right now, Kaitak Airport. Thank you very much for the £3. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable generosity. Thank you so much, indeed. Right, I am going to mute the alerts now. Just to get, you know, because we're coming into land here, we want to talk about the approach and how it's all being handled in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Unbelievable. I just don't know what to say to all of you. You're crazy. Right, so it looks like VNav's put us a little low on the path. It is showing on profile. It's sort of, I've noticed VNav does this in the PMDG. It sort of does a nice job, sort of about 5-6 thousand feet, and then it just does 100 feet per minute. Very low on the profile. It's not too far off what it would be. You know, in reality, VNav's a lot more efficient. Sort of keeps you doing a continuous descent. The decel points will get you bang on the glide. It's put us a tad low. Not bad though. So what we're going to do is select vertical speed, because I don't want to go any lower than this. Nice and shallow. We'll bring it back to the up speed. And ideally it would have been an idle path descent. Now the weather's looking a little inclement in this direction. But latest METAR, updating it one more time, is still 320 at 15, 10k drizzle scattered at 1300, so that doesn't look too bad a depiction there. Is the weather radar enabled on the PMDG? No, it doesn't work. No weather status report when visibility is less than 10k, no clouds below 5,000 feet or MSA, and no current or forecast significant weather such as precipitation. That is a CAV-OK, which you can actually have it quite cloudy, albeit CAV-OK. Right, 15 miles, still quite far out. We'll just increase our rate of descent in vertical speed. We'll select flap 1 shortly. This headwind as well is helping us. Our ground speed is just 192 knots at the moment. Tad low, not bad though. Flight Data Sim rap song. Unbelievable. Right, alarm Vorlock. Terrible rhymes. Coming in here, 1 dot to go, 35 knots. Oh, replay. Yes, might as well. Flight recorder coming on, guys. Oh, where is it? I can't find it. So let me get the flight recorder app open. And we're going to go flap 1. 1 dot, arming approach. Match speeds. Flight recorder, and I'm now recording the replay. Record. It's in. And we'll go flap 5. Drag model is a little slippy with flap 1, flap 5, especially if we had a 35 knot headwind. If we were doing 700 feet per minute, I'd expect it to slow down a little quicker here. Yeah, it's a little too slippy. It's better with the flaps out. Will you be carrying powdered milk on the return flight? Localizer capture. It's very late biting on, but it got it. 247 and missed approach altitude 3,000 feet. Checks in the FMC. So established, 5 miles, flap 5. Wind looks quite steady right now. Looking at the METAR, it's 320 at 15. It's showing a stronger wind here, so let's keep an eye on it. You'd probably start picking up some turbulence around 1,500, 2,000 feet with this sort of wind. over the ground. It looks very smooth and steady so far. Again, you can also have winds like this, and it'd be quite steady until you get quite close to the ground. It very much depends on the overlay of the terrain around. Sun visor, yeah, you know what? You would probably have a little bit of a sun visor here. And the way it's all washed out like that is really, really, really good. Like, you'd struggle to see anything like this in these conditions. There is the airport there. Shouldn't need the sun visor. But yeah, landing westerly at this time of year, at this time with haze, can make visibility quite difficult to spot. So wind's sort of coming down now. Still 35 knots. Tracking nicely. Looking good. So the gear can be yeah, I still haven't got this working correctly here, so I'm going to drop the gear down manually. Excuse me here. So gear down, flap 15. And we'll do the landing checklist. Start switches, continuous, recall check, speed brake. Arm green light, landing gear down, 3 green, auto brake, we only wanted 3, flaps to 30. With these sort of winds, we'll probably set VREF plus 7, just want to keep it between VREF and VREF plus 20 at the gates. Strong headwind here, look at our ground speed, 124 knots. So flaps, we got 30, and 30 checks, green light, and landing lights are on, checks complete. So, looking good, just need to update the thrust levers here, disconnect the auto throttle, disconnect the autopilot. So, 122 knots ground speed, we need to be doing about 700-800 feet per minute. And again, it seems quite static at the moment with these winds. It should drop off a little bit. 32015 are expecting, it seems very static. I'd expect a little bit more movement at this stage, below 1500 feet with these winds. Speed is very stable. Should be 320 at 15. I think we're going to have to jump to the Cayman Islands. I was hoping some big gusts and changes there. Right, there's a little change in the variation coming. That's better. Still, again, very little changes with the speed. But if it's quite a steady wind component, you'd expect that. See the wind coming. Look at the rain coming in from the right. That's super. So now the wind's gusting around a little bit more. So just take a little bit of thrust. Do our best to keep it around our target speed. There we are, 20 knots now. No, it's gusting all over. So this behaviour, the way the indicated airspeed's changing, it's too rapid. It's like rapid up and down, up and down. It's okay. You know, I'm not having to make much input at all on the controls here. Getting a little low though, 3 reds. Sort of looking through the flight directors. Always 100% confident on the PMDG flight directors and where they're behaving. Yeah, it's still a bit too static. 20. Oh, we've got big gusts now though. Yeah, you know what? It's a decent crossing, but the way the wind and the trend vector's moving, not bad. But I'm hardly having to make any inputs. I'd be making big inputs in these conditions, like full left and right inputs, keeping it steady. Wind's a bit high. It's much better than it was. Ooh, there's a bit of mechanical turbulence, maybe. That's better. 2 is continue. Wee, that's better. 3 whites, but the speed has been quite stable.
50, 40, 30.
Check,
20,
close, left
10.
rudder, aileron into wind. Nah, that's well off. That's no good. Now more aileron. Oh, I've got a full left rudder. That's full left. It should change quicker than that. Questionable. Questionable. Reverses. I put aileron into wind. In reality, you have to put a yank full of aileron in. I did that and it started rolling right. Should be wings level. Well, yeah. X-Men 11 and Active Sky is much better. That was well off. I went... If you look at the tutorial, my crosswind landing tutorial, basically when you decrab, so I used left rudder there, aileron into wind, but the aircraft started rolling to the right. You know, I put as much aileron as you need in the real aeroplane. Great how it started raining though when we got into the visibility. We'll look at the replay, see how that looks, but I'll sort of talk you through it. So let's, you know, we're having a bit of fun today, so we won't do proper taxi and fly, but when I decrabbed, I used left rudder to decrab. That was actually quite nice, the rudder input. And as you decrab, you have to start feeding aileron into wind to keep the wings level. I started doing that exactly as I would in the real aircraft to keep the wings level, sort of instinctive. The airplane started rolling right. Usually you do that, and you have to do that just to keep the wings level, you know. That rudder's a huge control surface, but I think I could have done that with no input. Then after I landed, I had full rudder input. It wasn't turning left. So the rudder was nowhere near as effective as it should have been there on the high speed. Now what we're going to do, I'm a bit tight of time, so if you do bear with me, what we'll do, we'll shut down on the parallel taxiway here. I'll do the cleanup for you, for those of you unfamiliar. And we'll go straight to the Cayman Islands, because this is all about testing crosswinds today. I'm not so worried about doing a full flight. It's a little bit different to the normal strip. I've got to stop anyway, because it looks like they've come here to collect their confiscated contraband. the Irish want whatever I was taking from Vega. So we'll set the parking brake. We'll do it all properly with regards to the shutdown. So we'll get the APU started first. Yeah, it was okay. That was just my first landing. I want to do a proper crosswind to see how it really is. Better than it was before, though. It is an improvement. The PMDG crosswind handling, though, was a little... Yeah, I had full rudder in then, and the aileron, no aileron input required. It was good. There's a lot of room for improvement there. That's all done, that's all done. What do you want? But not bad, not bad. It's better than the default. Well, no, it's better than it was before the SU10 update. Much better, because we didn't have anything before. But this was... It's work to be done, but for a start, not bad at all. Right, let's put a little bit of replay music on whilst we stay here. Just get the APU on bus. We'll do a replay of this one as well. So, shut down engines. There we are. Here we are on the parallel taxiway after landing. And now, actually, that was a bit pointless because we're going to do the replay quickly to see how it is. So that was completely pointless. Let me just go here to takeoff. Or even taxi, execute. Just go straight to flat 30. Because I think I need all this on for the replay there. I'm even a real forklift driver, unbelievable. Have fun, I'm off to work, unbelievable as well. But thanks for popping in. There's a weird bug on the A20N, the rudder effect contradicts the rudder input. Yeah, the rudder lost all effectiveness there. Here comes the excuses. It wasn't bad. It's just not, you know, you want to know if it handles like a 7.3. It didn't quite there on the decrab. Right, so let's do this for the replay. Turn this down now, and I think if you bear with me, I'll stop it here. Stop recording, and let's see if this works. Replay. There we go. Not good sounds. Pause the replay. Let's have a look from here. These conditions, though, the way we came into the rain there, really, really, really nice. That was awesome. It went good. The last 400 feet, it was great. It was just, it should have been a bit more action there. So decrab was good with the left rudder. But then I put the aileron into wind and it just went, ooh. Yeah, and then look at that. I had full left rudder, and look, it's just not turning. If I did that, I'd be over here on the grass. So, no, you know, I'm just being honest. Comparing to the real aircraft. The water spray, though, super. That effect is awesome. So if I just go back here. The rudder input for the initial decrab was good. That input was nice. But look, let me just go back a little bit here. Oh, it's a bit fiddly, the replay tool here, so bear with me. So when you put that left rudder in, what should happen is, if I made no aileron input, this should shoot up into the air, and I have to make a real positive input into wind to keep the wings level. So I anticipated that, because I've been flying this aircraft for 12 years. And then look, it just rolled to the right, so I immediately corrected. And at this point, I had full left rudder, and it was still really slow. I mean, that's not great. You know, I was having to make full rudder inputs to keep the aircraft in there. But then it sort of went okay. So the aileron, the secondary effect of the rudder here is very poorly modelled. But overall, the sensation of the decrab was pretty good there, anyway, should we have a quick visual circuit in the Cayman Islands? I think that'll be a good way of finalising this stream, seeing we're having a little bit of a different journey today. Let me go here, I'll end that, and I'll turn the alerts back on. Oh yeah, we'll turn that off because we've got some Microsoft music in the background. I'll turn off Fly Live, we won't need that anymore. Turn that off, turn that on. Let's go to the Cayman Islands. So Cayman Islands, yes. Is that the best place we're going to go to? So we're going to go here, Mike, Whiskey, Charlie, Romeo. And what's the weather doing here? Just going to have a look on my phone here as well. And then we'll do a crosswind takeoff landing and a visual circuit. See what's what. Mike, Whiskey, Charlie, Romeo. And gnarly. 64 minutes ago. I hope it doesn't change all of a sudden, but yeah, that is on limits there.
50,
Thank
40,
you very
30,
Here we go again.
20,
Tower, that's at least 5 landing fees you owe up now. It wasn't that bad, was it?
That's at least 5
2-6.
landing fees you owe us now. Cough up.
50,
The guys.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks, Belfast Tower. Lots of landings. Thank you, passenger service at Belfast.
Alright everyone, into the clapped out Ford Transit, and we'll take you to the international terminal just under the gazebo in the short stay car park. Checked luggage will be coming through
look at
on
this.
eBay shortly.
Unbelievable. Thank you very much, passenger service Belfast, for your donation and amusement. That is unbelievable. Thank you very much. Right, here we are then. Live weather, Cayman Islands. 36 knot crosswind. So let me just get something into the FMC here and some fuel and some weight. So we'll do this quickly. This reminds me of being an SFI in the Sims. So literally you just jumped in into the simulator after a session. You've got to get it set up for the next guys. It's exactly the same. So actually just before I do that, our engine's running, ready for takeoff. So 4 tons. Payload, that looks good. Just going to knock off the zero fuel weight slightly. 58 plus our weight, so 62 tons landing, so quite heavy. That's good. So fueling and weight's done. Center pumps off, lights on. It's just like being an SFI again. Get it configured for takeoff for the sessions that start on the runway. We'll set 3,000 feet and sea level. There we go. Strobes on, wing light can come off. That's all looking good. Runway QDM's 261. Flight director's on. 261. We're just going to do a visual circuit. 261. Thank you very much, Halen. 13 months. Unlucky for some, 13 months. Unlucky for some, lucky for others. Thank you very much for your continued support, buddy. And welcome. Oh, not welcome. Thank you for your time as a member. Excellent. 3,000 feet. Perfect. So that's all good. We'll get something punched into the FMC. So starting on the route page, we'll just put Mike, Whiskey, Charlie, Romeo. Mike, Whiskey, Charlie, Romeo. Departing runway 26. I'll just put in a random SID for now. Arrival. We'll go for whatever VDM. Let's do an RNAV 26 via a transition. Route activate, execute. Legs. I'm just going to join these dots up. I'm not going to follow it. It just gives something in the FMC for us. Amber will do. We're going to go Timor and then Amber. Ignore what it says. We'll tidy it up shortly. Zero fuel weight is in. 58.1. We'll take 2 tons. Cost index 30. Cruising at 3,000. And that's in. Execute. Full 22k for departure. Take off flap 5. CG 6.2 units of trim. Are we hiding from the authorities? It's all that contraband in the back. 6.2 and speeds 35, 36, 43, 143. And what's the wind here? Coming in from the left. Okay, so it's a left crosswind. And I'm guessing, yeah, it's sounding windy here. So this is a bit of a test now of the crosswind takeoff and landing. We had a little bit of a one here, but this is right on limits with the Gust. It's actually slightly over limits, but when we teach this during the type rating, we do put a 35 knot crosswind in. We're all set up, ready to go. The FMC has information in. We've got the flaps at 5, and I'll fly this completely manually. So during takeoff here, I'll talk you through how much rudder input I'm having to use, if it's correct. On a strong crosswind here, you know, I'll need as much as full aileron input into wind during rotation to keep the wings level. I'll let you know how much that is. Again, remember, this is a desktop simulated aircraft. Like with the Zebo mod, it won't perfectly replicate how the real aircraft behaves, but I'll be able to give you a good impression how it is in comparison. Right, so that's it. We're going to do a visual circuit. Oh, where's the weather vane? I hope it doesn't show 0. No, 170.23 gusting 36. We should be good with CBs as well. We should be good. So what we're going to do is climb straight ahead, runway heading to 3,000 feet. Once we're there, I'll make a turn downwind. Where's the wind coming from? It's coming in from the left, isn't it? So I want to turn right-hand downwind because I want to have the headwind on base leg. But that would be better for the first officer, but that's fine for us. Just put the fixed rings in for situation awareness for myself. /10/4. In fact, we'll go to 2,000 feet. 2,000, and we'll set 2,000 feet here, and I'll just let you know how the aircraft is, and then we'll call it a day. Right, so this will be completely manually flown. Yoke cam is on. Alerts are muted. Disconnect the auto throttle. Sorry, what am I doing? Auto throttle will have off for this takeoff, and flight directors are off as well. And let's do it. Toga's in chat. Let's have some fun. So I'm not going to make any rudder input. I just want to see to make sure the aircraft weathercocks into wind. Set takeoff thrust. So there, that's good. The aircraft's weathercocking to the left, so I'm having to put right rudder in now. Takeoff thrust set indications normal. A little bit of aileron into wind. Checked. Yeah, I've got full right rudder. I've got full right rudder, and it's... No, that's not good. I've got full right rudder. It's not effective enough. I've got full right rudder. That's not good. I've got full right. And not enough aileron into wind. How am I going to land? No, that's bad. Gears going up. Don't know why it's not working. Right, correct for the D-crab. Aileron into wind. I had full right rudder, and I was unable to stay on the centre line. And it's 33, 35 knots. You know, there should be sufficient rudder authority there. Checked. That is very windy. So the rudder is not effective enough. Visual circuit. Yeah, we'll see how we are at 2,000 feet. Right, tracking the centre line nicely. Let's go for 5 and 55. Levelled off a little bit early there. I'll bug the flap 5 speeds. Just recycle the flaps to get the flap 5 bug. Don't know why that's not giving it to me. There we are, there's a flat 5 bug, that's good. 2,000 feet, 555, a little bit too much thrust, so let's slow down. We'll go right hand in a IMC circuit. Yeah, okay, so that was a crosswind. I mean, it could be that it was gusting up to 45, and if that was the case, you couldn't quite have enough rudder authority. I think with the winglets, we have a max crosswind landing of 33. So I think it should be on the ground. I think the maximum gust we got was 36. Obviously a bit stronger here because we've climbed a little bit higher and there's a hurricane around. But yeah, the aileron on rotation, I should be making full input there to keep the wings level. I had to make some input, which was good, but not enough. Let's go back to 2,000 feet here. The general handling is actually pretty good. And this is max crosswind landing here. But yeah, on takeoff roll there. I've done demonstrated crosswinds up to 45 knots in the sim, and you've got enough rudder authority just as a demonstration, but yeah, not quite enough there. Right, I'm going a bit fast there, so let's bring back to the flat 5 speed. Keep the turn going to 2,000. It is a bit turbulent and bumpy though, which is good. But if looking at the wind on the trend vector, if that's how the wind's changing, it's a little aggressive, but as I said, it is a welcome update to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Compared to the how it was before, which was just stagnant and non-existent winds. Right, so I need a significant heading correction here, but the beauty is this is a track-up display, so the reciprocal I need to fly is 081, so all I've got to do is track 081, there we go, and we're going to track downwind, 2,000 feet. That's the 10-15 degree correction there. Alright, let's get speed and altitude back under control. I can't really react to chat. Record. Right, I'll try my best to set up the flight recorder in the background here whilst flying visually in IMC. So I just I saw a flash of lightning there. Right, no, don't save the recorder. I am hand flying still. Yes, flight recorder. Bear with me. I hope I'm still good. Flight recorder, client, opening, and recording. There we go. Right, how am I doing? 2000, not bad. It's not the best weather for a visual circuit. Let's have a look at Jim's perspective. Ah, yeah, fine. Look, you can see the airport down there if you squint. Oops, altitude. Not quite back in trim. Right, let me get back up to 2000. We'll set the target attitude. 5 degrees, about 55%, there we go, and now we'll just get that trimmed out. So next landing will be flap 30, and auto brake to 3, second detent reverse. Looking good. You cheat by turning on the flight path factor, that is cheating. So yeah, when you do raw datas in the sim, we don't allow you to have it on. But yeah, if you put the flight path vector, guys, on the horizon, you'll stay level. But that's cheating. Look, it's off over in the left because of that wind. How do I turn it off? That's cheating. Picture power. I'm not doing a very good job here, to be fair, guys. Alright, sort of a beam now, so we've just started our timing. Sort of really guesstimating this as well. This could be an interesting turn onto base leg here. Because I can't see anything. In fact, I might just jump to Jim's seat. Be a little bit easier here. Right, so gear down, flat 15, match speeds, star switch is continuous, recall is checked, speed brake is armed, green lights, landing gear down, 3 green, auto brake is set. Start a base turn now. We've got a huge headwind on base leg here. So just do a really gentle descent. I've got no flight directors, no ILS guidance, nothing. So I might come in a little bit low here. In fact, I just want to shallow off my descent here. I'd rather be high than low. God, if we had weather radar on right now, you wouldn't see a thing. Oh, we're getting low here. Got ground speed now, 130 knots. Checked. Wait, watch that rate of descent. That's fine, we are descending. Runway's there somewhere. Yeah, we're getting too low here. Because when you've got a really strong wind on base leg here, your time on your base leg is extended dramatically. So we only want to be doing, you know, I'm just going to level off here actually. Sudden demotion to FO means you have to not do anything now. But you know, to be fair, with the way the speed is changing with the gusts there, that's not bad at all. Yeah, that's good. See, look at that speed trend there. That's really good. Wow, look at the descent as well. So that is nice to see. The indicated airspeed changing like that. Just turning on final. I'm very low here. Got no DME or anything. Got to be around 1,000 feet at 3 miles. And we've got a huge crosswind here. Let's just zoom in on the scale here. God, I can hear the rain. Checked. This is not dank. Right, flat 30. We've got a huge crosswind correction here. This is good. This is good by Microsoft Flight Sim. Have I got the correct QNH set? So flaps, a little bit off centre line here. 30, green light, lights are on, checks complete. Need to keep descending here. Got no DME range. Oh, I'm being drifted downwind here massively. Right, that's a good correction. I still can. Alright, runway's in sight. Pitch maybe a little bit high. Speed. This is good by Microsoft, by the way, really good. Oh, really low on speed. That would be a go around, guys. Way below VREF here. 4 whites as well. I'm doing a Montpellier. Yeah, that's a go around. I'm sorry. Go around flat 15. Doing this properly. Set go around first. I would have gone around a lot sooner. Pause rate of climb, gear up. 400 feet. I'm going to use heading select, match the heading. So make sure you match that heading as the aircraft will turn. We'll go to 2000 and I'm going to stick in an approach, guys. Flat 5. PMDG, very nice go around here. Outer choir, bug up. The only thing is, at outer choir, the flight directors should disappear. If the flight directors are off, they would come up with toga, flat 1. But the flight directors have stayed on. Flaps up, they should disappear after outer choir. Perfect. Right, let's get the autopilot in. Just to decrease my workload because it's yeah. I'm trying to do a visual circuit in these conditions. Command, and we'll do the after takeoff checklist. So gears off, water brake is off, air conditioning and pressurization is 1.0 set. Check's complete. So let me just see what approaches they've got here. Approach. Let's do RNAV 26 via 2V execute. Welcome. We'll turn left. No, actually, I want to go right downwind again because of the wind. One job, yeah, but you know, I was being a little bit of press on there, but you just want to go around as soon as possible in those conditions. And I got to see it go around. Let me have a look what we got here in the FMC. We're going to fly the RNAV approach. We're going to route direct to Tagun. That would be perfect. Execute. LNAV is engaged. VNAV. Yeah, I have to say the PMDG is behaving very nicely. Let's have a look at this approach. So what this will do, it'll put me on the correct profile here. I'm trying to do this in very inclement conditions here. So that was a visual circuit 2000, very destabilised. You know, I was trying to judge the height based on my distance, but had no DME or anything like that. So at 2,000 feet on this RNAV approach, let's have a little look here at it. Got 3.2 tons, so we've already used a ton of fuel. So what we're here for is the crosswind landing, aren't we? But the behaviour of the speed, PMDG unable to maintain altitude as usual. Being very critical. RNAV 26, that's the one we're going to fly via Tagun. Or was it a different approach here? Can't even see Tagun. There it is, Tagun. 1500. 610, it's LNAV minimum, so 650.
10.
Thank you, Black Rider UK, for the £5. Very kind of you.
Someone had a good point earlier. PMDG hasn't updated the aircraft since the MSFS update, so could be better when they do.
Could be, it could be, yeah. I think they've been waiting to do an update on their autopilot and FMC for quite a while. I think they've said there's something on the works, which is good. And again, yeah, I don't think they've updated their aircraft since SU10 update, so there might be things going wrong in the background. You know, if I was to give it out of 10 today, how it's performed, 8.5. I always give 8.5. Certainly system-wise, and you know, messing around the FMC and all these buttons here, it's done a splendid job. Just that it boils down to handling for me, and for me, I've always said X-Plane feels better handling, but the things you get with Microsoft Flight Simulator with regards to visuals, how aircraft handle, significantly better. Look at that lightning as well. If I only had working weather radar, we'd probably not be flying around here. Perfect. So this will be the ultimate test then. Decrab crosswind landing, max crosswind 33 knots. We're nicely stabilised on the downwind leg, 240 knots. We'll turn down, when we turn base we'll start slowing down, but the aircraft is doing really well. Cheers Tony, thanks for the stream, very fun and educational. I'm glad you enjoyed it, something a little bit different. I enjoyed diverting earlier as well, and again, you know, just coming over here to the Cayman Islands to have a little bit of fun as well, something different. You know, the depiction of the weather now in the sim is really good. You know, thunderstorms around. I mean, IMC, the colouring of the clouds, the textures and the lighting, really, really good. It's hard to differentiate between here and real life, like sat in the cockpit here. excellent. And how it's improved as well. It used to be a bit pants, but it's really good. You know, sort of little rainbow there as well, and all the lighting. Very well done. So about to turn base leg. Let's start slowing down. Final approach fix should be Ambor. The aircraft will start descending. It's 3-degree path, which is in the FMS. We've set the minimums as well. This will be to a landing regardless. A lovely headwind on base leg, so you can sort of delay the flap 1 configuration until turning on final, especially as we're level. Yeah, it's a good point there, Fighter. You get the roll moment when applying full rudder in the air, but for some reason hardly just before touchdown. So the PMDG secondary effect modelling of the yaw, the roll afterwards, it's very weak, even in flight. So, you know, I've only ever done it at level D. Obviously, I've never given it full rudder in the sim. When you put full rudder, the aircraft rolls quite violently with no aileron input. Zebo mod, again, very good. Not perfect, but very close to how it replicates secondary effects of flight controls. PMDG is you know, not even 50% there. You know, if I briefly disconnect, if I go full left rudder, full left, it's there, but way too slow. We'd be upside down by now in real life if you made that input. Command B, yeah, that was actually very lazy of me. Just stoked the autopilot in without it getting anywhere near where it should be. Now the flight directors have disappeared. That's
50,
good.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Commands. So don't worry about the autopilot. I'm sort of giving the autopilot lackluster. Thank you.
That's how I always fly. It's breathtaking in MSFS PMDG in VR.
It is very, very good. I've heard good things about it. Oh, I didn't realise it was. There we are. So this is me hand flying. Let's get it all in trim. You know, give it a chance. That was just very lazy of me. I just chucked the autopilot in with it out of trim, not on the flight directors. There we are, Command A. Thank you, Black Box. Yeah, VR, I've heard good things about VR. Good things about VR. So, flap 1.
50.
Thank you,
40,
Aditus, as well, for the $2.
20,
Off the scale today, guys.
10.
Really. Ah, this is very dark in here, but that's good. That's what it would be if it was this dark.
For some cleaning supplies. Brown alert for Jim.
Brown alert for Jim. Unbelievable. Thank you very much. Flap 5. And this is... Now, it was level at 2000. This is a bit of a PMDG-ism with regards to able to maintain altitude. It should be rock solid on this height now. Approaching descent. 700 feet. VNAV path speed intervent. And again, it should maintain 2000 until passing the top of descent point. I don't have a profile yet. We'll sort that out. There we are. So now it's going to start descending on the path. Flap 5 we have. And once it gets on the path, the PMDG is excellent. I think the new weather is the best part of SU-10. Yeah, it's a huge improvement. A very good one. I think it's certainly representative, or very, very close to representing what the conditions would be like. Again, the PMDG, you know, especially on that takeoff and landing roll with rudder, was struggling there. But the actual how the weather's being depicted is pretty good. I have to admit, it's pretty good. It's better than default X-Plane, that's for sure. Whereas I'd actually say it's better than that, but
50, 40.
X-Plane
30,
11 with active sky
20,
is still a
10.
little bit more refined, I'd say. Hayden, thanks for the £2.
Wibble, wobble, wibble, wibble, wobble, wibble.
And on that note, yoke cam's coming on as we fly our second approach. Gear down, flap 15, thanks buddy. Landing checklist, start switches, continuous, recall check, speed brake, arm green light, landing gear down 3, order brake set to 3, and flap 30. Missed approach attitude, not sure what it was, we'll just set 3000. Looking much better on this approach now. Flaps 30, green light, lights are on, checks complete. So we've got a 40 knot crosswind. It is in limits. The actual wind on the ground is within limits, 33 knot cross. Let's see how the autopilot auto throttle is behaving. So, in reality, I think that's pretty close. And the speed changes there, very good. Auto throttle disconnecting now. Autopilot as well. Yeah, really good. That's nice. The speed changes now for these conditions. excellent. Well done, Asopo.
Plus 100.
Check. So PMDG in the rudder. I'm not going to put as much aileron into wind this time because it obviously isn't modelled too well in that respect. Continue. This is good. Maybe the speed will be varying a little more than this, but the way on the trend vector's moving isn't that great. The speed changes are good though, and I'm having to put a big chunk of thrust in there. It's never going to be exactly the same as real life, but it's darn good, guys, for a desktop simulator. Brilliant. Little high. Immediately corrected. That's checked.
100.
Checked. Keep descending.
50. 40. 30.
Close. Right rudder.
10.
Aileron into window. Oh, you don't have to put any aileron in here. Right, full. I've got full right rudder. Full right rudder. Speed brakes up. Reverses. Oh, that's actually not that bad at all. That's actually really good. Speed brakes up. We have to stop braking manually unless you want to go for a swim. 80, 60. Oh, very, very good. Really quite much better than I was expecting there, based off the one on wherever it was, Belfast. Yeah, well done. The rudder, again, it would be far more effective in real life. The aileron correction I was making on the decrab, you'd have to, honestly, guys, if I was landing in those conditions, you'd be like that. To keep the wings level in the flare, you'd be like full aileron, like I didn't have to do hardly anyone there, but actually it's a very welcome update, and that was on limits there. I couldn't, that is on the legal limit of what this aircraft can do in these conditions. So yeah, it behaved not badly at all. The PMDG could do with some refinement regards to effective controls, but it's excellent, really. I can't really give it too much discredit there. Really, really quite good. Yeah, happy with that landing though. Bang on centre line. When you've got a strong crosswind like that, you want to be sort of upwind of the runway. We'll taxi into standard. We'll have a look at the replay too. You want to be upwind of the runway, so when you decrab, you don't get blown downwind there. But yeah, that was better than I was expecting. I'll give it 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I still think X-Plane and Active Sky is 9.5. Certainly more refined with regards to the gusts and changes. But this is much better than I was expecting. But what an update. PMDG just need to increase the rudder authority and aileron authority close to the ground there. Because that flare there, I was using a lot of rudder and it wasn't really doing much. I had full rudder. On the initial part of that roll, I had full rudder. We would have probably shot off to the side in reality. Anyway, Sam Tech Cookie, that landing was actually good. What are you saying? Let's take the next left. Yeah, this sim is maturing nicely, guys. I really, really mean that. Right, transponder to out off, sort of half setup here, flaps. Well, actually, you know what, guys, we're going to do the replay, so I'll leave the engines running here. You see me do plenty of cleanups here because I do actually need to head off. As I'm streaming it, this has ran over a little bit longer than I was expecting. Awesome. So parking brake is set. We'll leave all the lights on as it would be. Flaps, perfect. All that sort of stuff, and we'll look at the replay there. Yeah, really good. Really, really good. No major complaints, just the handling of the PMDG side, but they are going to fix that in time. Excellent. Really, really good. I can't say any more than that. Right, so let's pause the replay, stop recording, and oh no, we've got to have the funky replay music on. There's no way we're having the taxiing music going on for this one. Let's go here to the funky replay music. There we go. Guys, you know I like to do things and surprise you here. I've just looked at the generosity of all of you today, alright, and I want to give something back because I can't accept all that. So, do PMDG do gift vouchers? I don't know, let me have a look here. You know, you guys, it was all over the place. I'll do a Zebo giveaway. No, they don't do gift vouchers. I think I could give away $635. That's nice. Shall I do a PMDG giveaway for the 737-600? $35. I don't think PMDG do. I've got to give at least a certain example here. Oh, hold on. You've all got Microsoft Flight Simulator, haven't you? They don't do it. Okay. Right, so what I can do is... Thanks Everyday Normal Geek, came to the channel for the tutorials, lurked around for the streams and the humour, staying for the hurricanes and the crabs. Thank you, Cap, you're most welcome. Yeah, let me just see what I can do here, because I'll be able to pay, what I can do, I'll do a 737-600. I'd like to give away a copy to someone here in chat if you don't have it already. I'll work out the most common way of doing it is I can PayPal it. I have a flight deck sim PayPal, you see, and I can use that one. You just have to have PayPal. So yeah, let me just set this up in the background. This is a giveaway for a copy of the PMDG 737-600. I just want to say thank you. It's been a while since I've done a public giveaway, and I had a lot of donations today. I feel very guilty accepting that without giving something in return. So thank you very much to everyone that donated, especially to, I can't remember who it was now. I've got to remember so many different people. But yeah, it was off the scale. So let me just get this set up in the background with Nightbots, and then we'll do the replay. And then if you do win the giveaway, get in contact with me via social media, Facebook, Instagram or Twitter. Oh no, sorry, not Facebook, because I've turned off messaging there because I couldn't deal with the influx there. Or you can email me at flightdecksim@gmail.com. I'll just ask you to send me a copy or a screenshot of your YouTube account, because Nightbot will roll this giveaway now. And yeah, just keep it simple, guys. All you got to do now, and you can do it now, put in PMDG in chat. Okay, type in PMDG in chat. Anti-spam is enabled. Sorry, please listen carefully. Only put PMDG once in chat. Don't do it more than once because you'll be ineligible. And if you are the winner, I will send away the PayPal cost of the 737-600. I'm not being tight, but it's the only one you need if you want to enjoy the PMDG. But I want to be... it's just a way of saying thanks to you guys, because that a lot of donations today. And I'd like to give something back to all of you who spend your time, donate, contribute to the channel, so thank you. Anyway, I'll let that roll for a little bit longer, and then we'll be able to roll the giveaway as well. And once we've done that, we'll... oh no. Here we go again. Oh no. Black Rider UK has gifted another 20 subs. That is... or members. I'm not on Twitch. Oh my god, I sound like a Twitcher, don't I? Oh my goodness, it's 60 people. I don't know what to say, Black Rider UK. Unbelievable. Thank you very much indeed. Oh. To all the new members, you'll be invited to the members only Discord. You'll get to use the custom emojis in chat. Give it to Black Rider. I feel like I need to. Welcome. Enjoy your time as members as well. That's incredibly generous. That's 60 new members. Oh my goodness me. I don't know what to say. You're very welcome, Black Rider. It says, well, I don't know, but it's very, very kind. I don't know what to say. Right. We'll let that run for a little bit longer. Black Rider UK knows how to make a fun stream. He does. That's been incredibly generous. Anyway, yeah, we'll let that roll, and we'll roll the giveaway as well. Stephen PMDG 737-600 duty free now. Unbelievable. Very generous. Very Blade 929. I just don't know what to say. Thank you very much. Thank you as well, Abdu Cat. That's very generous as well. Welcome to all these people as well. Now, all the new members, I do ask you to respect my anonymity still, whatever the word is. There are what's the word? Community standards to follow. I do ask you just to respect that as well. There will be more content as members. I am quiet at the moment, very busy at work, so I'm a little quieter on Discord, but I hope you utilise the Pro Points as a member. Thank you very much for joining and supporting. Well, I say that to all of you, regardless of subscription or membership status, but certainly That's off the scale there. A record number by members joining. Thanks, Black Rider UK. I already have all the PMDG stuff plus Phoenix. That I blame for you. Unbelievable. Right. I'll just quieten that in the background here whilst we roll the giveaway. There we go. And let's see who has won the PMDG 737. There we go. So I'm going to roll it now. 3, 2, 1. The winner of the PMDG 737-600 is Ryan Videos 94. Ryan Videos 94. I've made a note of your logo. Is that some sort of football team? I'm not so sure. But Ryan Videos 94, you are the winner of the PMDG 737-600. Please get in contact with me via email, flightdecksim@gmail.com, Twitter, or Facebook or Instagram. I'll accept all those messages. Just show me your logo and your YouTube logout screen and your name so I know it's you. He says I'm here. That's what I like to say. So Ryan Videos, as I say, contact with me, show it here, and I'll if you hopefully got PayPal, I'll send you over the cost so you can purchase that aircraft yourself. Get whatever you like, I don't mind. But it is for the PMDG 737-600. Shame they don't have vouchers. That's how I usually do it. Anyway, let's look at the replay finally. Unbelievable. Alright, that's been a crazy stream, guys. I don't know what to say. Replay I've already ended. Let's have a look here then. So, replay. Wow. This is in the circuit already. So, this is when I did the go around. So I was too high. Oh, I pressed end. I'm still used to these replay tools. Let's go on to the actual crosswind because that's what we want to see. So let's press resume replay. There we go. Rob S, thank you very much. Thanks for the great stream. You're most welcome. Thank you for your continued support. Ryan Videos, excellent. That's fine. Message me on Twitter. Message me on Twitter. That's absolutely fine. We'll get that sorted to you within the next 24 hours or so. So here was my approach. It was bouncing stabilized approach criteria, like 1,000 feet. It was a little bit steep. On profile here, the Pappies. Yeah, I was a bit higher a little bit before there, but yeah, that was yeah, probably gone around. But these are challenging conditions, more so in a desktop sim as well. Dave Page, thank you for your continued support as a member as well. Glad you still enjoy the content. Thank you very much. Look at this weather. So right here was a little bit too downwind, but I made a correction last minute to get back upwind, which was good. And I plugged in the right rudder. Nowhere near enough aileron needed. In reality, you need a lot more. Touchdown. And then I had full aileron in, like full right, and it was just about enough. Which, to be fair, isn't that far. You can see when I relax the rudder how it weathercocks into wind. And that, it looks dramatic from this angle, but that's what it would be like in these conditions. Let's have a little look from another perspective here, straight on. Really nice. This is the flight recorder replay app, if you're wondering. There's the D-crab. Oh, very happy with that landing. Whoa. If I'd done that in real life, I'd be very happy. And that was a 35 knot crosswind. But the way that's depicted, pretty close to reality, guys. Yeah, sensational. Absolutely sensational. Right, anyway, let me pop you into a wing view. Which one's going to be best? I don't know. Yeah, let's go with that one, the crosswind all the way into that condition, actually, the other side. There we go. Right then, so I'll put you back onto the approach. Oh, I've just pressed stop replay again. There we go. Put you around here. Just when we turn base leg, there we go. Perfect. Guys, I sincerely thank you so much for everyone, firstly, that donated today. Extremely generous. Special mention as well to Black Rider UK, who gifted 60 members to the channel. That's absolutely insane. So I don't know what to say more than thank you very much. But to all the regular viewers and subscribers, I just hope you enjoy the content still. It was a little bit different today than the usual thing. You know, and I know a lot of people are put off by you know, the constant pings and things. I try to make it as fun and light-hearted as possible, whilst educational. They are always entertainment streams at the end of the day. But normal service will resume. We'll do a nice sector from A to B, wherever you guys would like to go. I think the speed brake, ignore. They were stowed for the approach. I think that's just a replay glitch there. It was great fun. I thoroughly, as I've mentioned already, would recommend Microsoft Flight Simulator. Get this update. Well, it's mandatory anyway, it is, isn't it? But the weather depiction now is really, really quite good. You know, it could do with some fine-tuning. I think X-Plane 11 with Active Sky just pips it just. It's a little bit more refined, a little bit tidier, but it's certainly not far off at all. The PMDG behaved very well as well. Again, I've already explained the areas that need addressing. We all know the areas that need addressing. The autopilot, the FMC's not bad, it's just outdated. The rudder and aileron need to be a little bit more effective as well, and the trim is slow, but not bad at all. 8.5 out of 10 from me. Let's hope Zebo gets up to speed in X-Plane 12 and we have some nice competition between the two. But I'll be using both in the future here. Excellent. Oh, you can stow them again in the replay. Thank you. I didn't know that, Yap. Guys, thank you very much. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, and I'll see you all on another live stream very soon. Cheerio. I just have to comment, that does look like real life. It's sensational. I'm just looking at the screen here, flabbergasted. Really, really good. Guys, take care.